330.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
ABB and this car are a match made in heaven.
Oh, oh, oh,
Oh, oh no, he's full price.
holy shit. That dude his pants. Man.
She is currently, I just don't really want to say it over video, but having some medical issues that might warrant her going to the hospital, so.
Shit, okay. Well, we can cancel this whole thing if we need to go with you. No one knows we're doing this run. We didn't tell Electrify America. We didn't tell Lucid. They have no clue. Oh, look at Alyssa sending it in the Polestar. On the way to go test the next charger for us. Honestly, good thing we had her. Yeah. We would have been stuck here on the phone.
200. Nope. 100.
Well, guys, it's that time. You join me in front of the Red Ball Garage where we're about to run another Cannonball. You know, I said after we ran the Porsche Taycan last one, I'll talk about our Cannonball history here in a moment. I thought, well, we're kind of done with this. You know, it's just like, it's a pain in the ass. It's not fun at all. It's stressful. You're pushing the limits all the time. You're dealing with chargers, but guess what? It's been a long time since the Cannonball record's been broken. It's currently held by our friend Ryan and Josh in their Model S. And so I thought, well, let's see how the longest range electric car on sale does today. We took the Lucid Air Grand Touring, which is the, you know, on the aero wheels. We have it fully optimized for this. 516 miles of EPA rated range. The car's broken in. The tires just got broken in. We're ready to run from here in New York to Los Angeles. And our goal is to go faster than any electric car to ever do this route in history. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with Cannonball, I'll give you a quick history lesson. The car's inside the famous Red Ball Garage, charging up. We're gonna get up to about 95, 97%, something like that. And then we're gonna blast to Los Angeles. Now, we have some cool tricks to pull out of our sleeve on this run, which I'll explain to you here in a little bit, but I'm a firm believer that electric runs should require using the infrastructure that's in the ground. So we will not be using any mobile diesel generators. We will not have any cars pull us unless we completely run out of juice. But our plan is to take that car unmodified in the most efficient configuration possible, use the existing charging networks that are in the ground today, and go New York to Los Angeles. Our goal is under 40 hours. I want to see a 39 something. Is that possible? I don't know. The current record is 42. We're going for a 39-hour run. Let's run inside. I want to show you the Lucid that we'll be using. It's actually my dad's Lucid. When he bought this car, I chipped in a little bit to say, hey, can we borrow it for a project, a technical exercise? And he knows what's going on. He loves this stuff. And I wish he could come on the run, but unfortunately he's a bit busy. So the Red Ball Garage has a Blink charger. I believe it used to be a ChargePoint charger, but it's only 6 kilowatts. So we arrived here at about midnight. We planned to leave at between 1 and 1:30, and we had the car fully charged when we left. So our plan is to juice that up as much as we can. We had the lot attendant here said, no, you can't plug in. We called earlier today to confirm weekend. He's like, no way. I got to move all these cars. So I'm like, what's it going to take? And I was like, $1,000? Will that do it? He's like, I might do it. We settled on 500, but that's the most expensive, 5% I've ever gotten in my life, but it's worth it because we're going all out. We are not leaving anything on the table here. We have spotters, a network of spotters across the country. I'll explain a Polestar situation, but first, the car. This is a 2022 Lucid Air Grand Touring. It is fully spec'd. It has every option you can have. My dad has a whole bunch of videos on his purchase experience with it. I encouraged him to buy this car for this experiment, for this drive, because if there's ever going to be a car that can do it, it's this. We've seen 351 kilowatt peak charging rate. We've seen huge efficiency, even at speed close to 3.6, 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour. It has the brand new, really newly designed aero wheels that are even better than the original Lucid aero wheels. And they have about, 800 miles on them, so they just got broken in, which is perfect. You really want to have at least 500 miles on a set. We're ready to run this thing across the country. So you guys may notice a yellow, or is it orange, Mustang Mach-E behind me. Well, my good friend Tom Malogny from the State of Charge YouTube channel, in sort of traditional Cannonball tradition now, is going to lead us out of New York City. And Tom is joined by his friend Greg, and I'm sure they'll have some clips in their car that'll make it into this video. And I can't thank Tom and Greg enough for doing this. I can't wait to see what it looks like inside their car when they're looking for police. But this is just going to be an epic drive. So there's a couple things to consider, which you guys, this is going to be a long video. You're going to join us across the country. And essentially what we want to do is we want to look for road hazards, potholes, animals, anything crazy that could happen. Police could be maybe one of those things that we're interested in knowing about. And I will be doing the drive in the tradition, you know, in the last Cannonball team with Timon and Drew. We did the Taycan together when we ran a 44-hour, 25-minute ride, drive time, and that was just epic. So much fun. Previously, before that, I set the record in a Tesla Model 3 long-range rear-wheel drive with my good friend Matthew Davis. And so, you know, Drew, Timon, and I, 3 people in the car. That's a really good group of people. We have a good mix of driver, spotter, and someone resting in the back and rotate through. You know, 40 hours to stay awake is tough, especially considering I don't think any of us got that much sleep before this. We were all just antsy and ready to go, and that was the case as the run before as well. So, you know, we're not doing this to try and break record. Well, we are trying to break a record. We're not trying to do this to show, look how fast we can drive. We're really not going to actually be driving that fast, especially when you compare it to what the combustion guys are doing, Cannonball. We're going to be cruising, we're going to be hauling, but not anything extremely dangerous. The point of this is a technical exercise to push not only the Lucid as far as it can go, but also the charging networks. So I thought, this is the wild card, how cool would it be if we had an Advantage, which would be a gas car that could just drive normally and stay in front of us across the country? Because again, we're going to have to stop and charge for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. None of us really know the Lucid well enough to optimize our charging, and there's a lot of issues ahead that I'll explain as the drive goes on. We have something called the Signet Surge. We're right in the middle of that. It's a software bug. It hasn't been fixed, but we're still going. But I thought, okay, we need a gas car going ahead of us across the country, so let's find one of those. And then I thought, well, are there any gas cars that could also test chargers and maybe reserve a 350 kilowatt for us? And rather than being a complete ass and not plugging in, we really needed an Advantage of someone that can test the chargers ahead of us and reserve the charger before when we get there. And there's pretty much one car, and it's the Polestar 1. And both Alyssa and her sister Michaela, the 2 ladies, are ripping right now. They left just about 5 minutes ago, and they are ripping across the country ahead of us, basically checking charging stations, checking for anything they might find that might be of interest to us throughout our drive. So Polestar 1, super rare car. I'll tell the story about how we got that car in a little bit, but that's just epic. So there you go. We're going to let the Lucid charge up. Let's get on the road. We'll tell you more stories throughout the drive. The Polestar story is just incredible. Polestar is so cool to let us use this vehicle. And we'll tell you why that's the case. By the way, Alyssa and Michaela will have their full road trip video of this coming just a few days after this video goes up. I can't wait to see what's going on in their car right now, navigating the streets of New York City, ripping out of the Lincoln Tunnel in that unbelievable hand-built Swedish design machine. Timon, you think they're going to rip it hard enough?
Yeah, I hope so.
I mean, Alyssa and I did a little bit of practice driving. Even I was like, hey, you might want to slow down a little bit.
That's a good sign.
It's a good sign. So they're sending it. We're just letting the Lucid charge up. And then Tom and Greg are actually going to leave a little bit closer to us, about 15 minutes ahead of us, to look for more real-time situations. The thing is, the first leg is 270 miles to our first planned charging stop because the Lucid has so much range. We're going to be full. We should be able to make that. We can always adjust our speed. Again, we're not going for efficiency. We're going for flat out on the first leg. And so we thought if the girls get an hour ahead of us, that gives them an advantage to stay ahead. So both Tom and Greg will be about 15 minutes ahead of us, and I think give us more relevant information. Enough blabbering. There's a lot to talk about. We had so much prep work. We have a lot of videos to do. You'll hear stories for years to come on this, I'm sure. We've put so much time and effort and planning into this. We have password protected documents and friends and spotters across. I mean, it's really, this is the fun part of Cannonball. I love all the prep work, but now we really got to do it. And I'm amped up. So let's talk to Timon. Let's talk to Drew, see how they're feeling ahead of the drive. get the car charging, and hit the road. Well, we're over here at the front of Red Ball Garage, and here's one of my co-drivers, same as last time, and my very good friend, Timon Schroer. What the heck are you thinking doing this again?
I thoroughly enjoy it. It's the last 5 hours that suck, and kind of the middle part as well. The last hour is the best part, and the first hour is the best part because you're so amped up, ready to leave and ready to get there. But in the middle, it's cool. You get a spot for things on the road. Use binoculars, which an average driver doesn't ever use going through the country.
We have some stabilized binoculars.
Right.
Yep.
But other than that, it's exciting. You don't know what to expect, which is a fun thing.
Right. There's a lot of communications between our spotters, between us. There's a lot of nuances of driving quickly, but not pissing people off.
Exactly. Being nice to truckers.
Yeah, you got to be nice. You got to be friends with the truckers.
Yeah, exactly. That's your way through the country.
Well, I can't thank you enough for doing this again.
Yeah,
and for people who are interested, we did a lot of our prep work at your parents' house.
Yep.
And that's a video that will be on my personal channel probably today when this video goes up, probably staggered a few hours.
Sweet.
Let's talk to Drew, who's our F1 racing approved driver.
Yeah.
And Drew's going to send it.
Yep.
And here is Drew Peterson drinking a Red Bull at the Red Ball. What?
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored yet. Sure. I got to help out some bikers. I'll be right back.
We're about the same height, but you're heavier.
Yeah, I'll push the seat down farther, yes. So, your pre-trip thoughts, Drew?
Just concern. Yeah, charging is obviously the elephant in the room.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned it in this video yet.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm starting out hot.
Yeah.
Because who knows what that's going to be like. But the car seems like solid. I mean, has the specs to be able to get the job done. So that's where we're. That's where our optimism is.
And we have some cool technology in the car to precondition the battery, to pre-cool it on the way to chargers manually. We're going to be probably not using many of the onboard navigation systems, but the typical Waze, talking to Alyssa, stuff like that. So no real route planner in the car.
We have CarPlay.
We have CarPlay now. Wow. But the Lucid said it was going to take 51 hours and 43 minutes to get there.
Yeah, I don't know how that's calculated. That's like... I don't know. That's like taking naps at every charger or something like that.
Yeah, that's like grandpa mode.
Right.
So we're going to try and shave over 10 hours off the Lucid's trip planner.
Right.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
Will it work? I don't know.
It's ambitious, but we'll do the best we can.
We'll do the best we can. And can't wait to do it all over again. We had so much fun the last time.
Absolutely.
But more stories. We already got stories. We got to pay the dude $500 to charge the car.
Yeah, right. Yeah, starting out weird.
Yes, everything before this has been a disaster.
Yeah, I know.
Flat tires everywhere.
Yeah,
car
I
exploded.
haven't been involved in all that excitement. Yeah, hopefully that we got all the issues out of the way.
Yeah, that's right. Let's hope so, because I feel like we've been through hell and back just to make our leave time.
Yeah.
But Tom and Greg should get going pretty soon. Let's talk to those guys. And we need to hit the road. Well, you guys who are regular EV viewers probably know Tom here, and this is the first time, Greg, you've been on YouTube, right?
Absolutely.
Welcome to being recognized at charging stations. So, Tom, first of all, this is sort of becoming a Cannonball tradition where you live locally. We've been able to collaborate for years, and part of our collaboration, I have a contractual agreement that you speed out of New York City ahead of us and attract all the police.
Absolutely. It's the luck of the Irish. The last time I led you out and you set the record. So now we're going to lead you from New York City through Jersey. I'm going to take you to the Pennsylvania border. It's about 70 miles. Make sure there's no police along the route. Greg's going to be on the lookout while I'm driving. And we're going to get you to Pennsylvania. After that, it's on you. But we're gonna get another record here.
Yeah, let's hope so. It's all up to Electrify America. We have some EV Go stops as well, which I'm less concerned about, to be honest.
Yeah.
Although not totally not concerned about, because we've already noticed, we've had spotters run today and check some chargers.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but Greg, are you into EVs or cars, or what's your story?
I'm an old muscle car guy.
Oh, hell yeah.
But this is the future, so I'm in,
Well, I can't thank you enough for helping us and spotting, and hopefully you got your extra strength glasses on.
Right here.
Yeah. Sick. That's awesome.
I gotta watch for the smokies,
That's right. And Tom, you're doing this in a media vehicle, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I got the Mach-E this week to test out Ford Blue Cruise 1.2, and so far it's been a lot of fun. So I figured put the miles on this thing. I was going to take the Lightning, but It's we'll do it in the Mach-E.
Yeah, you'll attract more attention in the bright orange Mach-E. So you guys just come screaming out as fast as you can.
Oh, don't worry, we will. Listen, we got a long history. I'll be really brief.
Yeah.
Greg and I go back to high school. We were high school buddies. Greg had a Mustang 5-liter, right? Got so many tickets. Like in six months of ownership, he lost his license. So I drove him in his Mustang all over the place, and then I started getting tickets driving his car. So I had to stop doing it. So we're a good team to lead you out of Jersey,
especially because you're back in a Mustang. So this is all good stuff. Can't thank both of you enough. And if you don't mind getting a few clips throughout the drive, that would be great. Not just a few seconds would be great too.
We will. I already brought the suction cup. We'll get some clips, and we'll be on the phone as soon as we see the cop. We'll be giving you guys a call.
Well, you saved us twice last year,
I know, that was big.
That was big. Really made the run.
We'll have your eyes, Kyle.
Thank you so much. Well, you guys will be heading off soon, so we'll see you in a few weeks, I guess, when we're back in New York.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you. We're getting very close to leaving, and just taking a look at some of the other runs. The C2C2C. One of my good friends, Peter Lafort, just did a coast to coast to coast in a Mercedes S-Class. That's actually whose Lucid I borrowed. And he was going to come with us on this drive, and we're actually going to do some more drives here together. What an awesome guy. But the Mach-E's getting ready to go. I think we're going to send Tom and Greg on their way. The girls are now on I-78 cruising in the Polestar. They said it looks like a clear shot out of the city. We're just trying to get all the last bit of juice in the Lucid over here. I'm so glad this thing is grayed out. So boring, the spec. That's what we want. Little wheels, nothing flashy. And let's just take a look at how the charging is going before we leave. Show you the car. Take a quick last glance at it. We were going to run it through the wash and get the extra wax, but yep, just never came to be. We were trying to balance sleep and everything, and 6 kilowatts at 93%. We'll probably get up to 95% by the time we get out of here. The most expensive 5% in my life. I just love that. That's so funny. So by the way, this is the black Chevy. That's what I'm talking about. No one knows what this car is. That is amazing. I'm saving that forever. The black Chevy. It's a gray Lucid. This is incredible. So great stuff. Can't thank everyone involved enough for doing this. My crazy ideas. This is great.
Good.
So I just asked if they have any glass cleaner because the car's a little dirty, and the dude's like, I got a wet t-shirt in the top of my closet. I'm like, what's it wet from? He's like, I don't know. I was wiping down windows. None of this makes any sense. I'm going to do the front first, just so we have a clear view. And I think I want to get these little things in here. My dad puts these suction cups on his car that are just awful. So let's go. Colton approved. Wipe down. This looks great.
That's going to save us a lot of time.
Absolutely.
Good luck, guys. I've got to reset the trip so I know exactly where we are if we do see something.
You got 81%. You know, this thing's only got 5 seconds of power, Tom.
That's all right.
That'll get you from here to that stoplight.
Well, if it's so weak, let me see you catch me.
That's right.
I bet you I'll beat you to the Pennsylvania border.
We're going to give you a good headway.
You're not catching me.
That's right. Well, can't thank you. I don't even think you have to drive that fast. But thanks again, and we'll see you soon.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you. There Tom goes. Full send.
Yeah, we got it up to 95%, and Drew's pulling out. We're going to stage it, set everything up, and then we're on our way.
Seating position wise?
You're going to start passenger. Drew's leading us out. I'm in the back.
Okay. So you're going to bed.
No, I'll probably stay awake for the first leg at least, and see what the situation is at the first charging station, and if we want to change seats at all.
Yep.
Then we'll figure it out.
Drew, you look at least 84 years old. Cool looking car.
Yeah, it looks sweet.
Yeah, it's really grown on me.
These wheels aren't it though.
No, you can't get these wheels, but we need them for the function.
It needs some Martian wheels. Got all the legroom back here, baby. Limousine. One spot over, Drew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Need that official start.
Well, we're just getting ready for final preparations. You can see we put Redondo Beach as work, and the Lucid says it's 50 hours and 56 minutes. And so we're hoping it's at least 10 hours quicker than that. Now, the CarPlay option did just pop up, but I'm not sure where it has
Here,
gone.
try a different cord.
No, it's a Lucid thing. The cord's fine, it's brand new. If you unplug your phone and plug it back in, that would be great. We're gonna leave at 1:40 a.m. Confirm. You have to get that confirmed. And then we're gonna go to Wazi. Are we ready?
Ready when you are.
1:40. Let's go. We're on the run. Windows up. Now these two. 0.9 miles. Driver average will get us to Lincoln Place. You should go. Yes, full send. That was the move.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yep, and things are happening. K-band, not too worried about it around here. We're testing those 245. We got a toll to go through, so let's find Easy Pass. Yeah, we got it. We have our Easy Pass up here.
Yep.
So Easy Pass only. How fast can these things read? There's probably cops around here. Go Easy Pass. Hey, so you can do at least 45 through those things. Cruising along now. Drew got us out of the city perfectly. Great driving there, nice and smooth. Didn't piss anyone off. Just nice, gentle pace. And now we are on I-78. Both Tom and Greg are about 20 miles ahead of us. The girls have been in Pennsylvania for the last 20 minutes or so. And we're just cruising along, making way. Everyone, for the next 20 miles or so, from what we can tell, there's just nothing. So we're trying not to go crazy because there's still a lot of cops around. And, you know, they could just show up at any time. But just maintaining good speed through here. And this is fantastic. So roads are open, things are good. K-man, we're not worried about any urban environments for now. And by the way, the United R8, if you're curious, the new radar detector. We got the Bugatti Chiron light up here, Tommy. Channeling some of that speed. High beams, just absolutely so bright here. Timon's in the back. How's it back there, Timon, with the binoculars?
So spacious.
Yeah, much better than the Taycan.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, this is great. Let's keep it moving.
Just come up here.
Yep. Looks like he's traveling
No, I don't think so. 50.
right now. Hey, we're 50.7 miles. Rolling well. There's a cop up ahead. Looks like there's some construction.
Yep.
So it looks like he's just he's just hanging with the he's hanging on the side there.
What mile are you at?
34.8.
Oh, good. So you're still like
But you guys
18 miles
stop
behind
for
us.
sandwiches or something?
So if you had to guess our arrival state of charge at this point, what would be?
Sounds like there's quite a few cops based off what Timon's thinking back here.
Sounds good. We just are.
So we're ripping along at about 86 miles an hour now on Route 78, leading the boys behind us. They're about 15 minutes behind us, and so far there has been no sign of any police. Been a clear run, and continuing on to the Pennsylvania border.
Police reported ahead.
Well, this is the first police we're coming across. The Lucid just hit 5,000 miles on the nose. Love to see it. Timon's getting some more intel.
15.6.
And there's Tom. Haha. Big thanks to them. Now we're back on our own. Yeah, so Tom and Greg didn't even see us go by. They're like, where are you? We're like, we flashed you, we hit the hazards.
We appreciate you guys.
The black Chevy evades. And welcome to New Jersey. We're going over the Delaware River, or I should say, welcome, goodbye to Jersey. We're into Pennsylvania.
Cup number 2.
And stay put. Oh, look at the Corolla and a Mustang. Well, let those guys pave the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good stuff. This guy totally psyched us out over here. We were like, what, cop? And then turns out he just put blue lights on his truck. And we have done our first highway leg. We're coming off the highway. It's 2.6 miles off the highway, but it's in the direction we need to go, so we can actually jump on the highway down below. So, yep, just pulling off. Gonna throw it on the charger. The girls already checked to make sure number 2 worked.
Cop at the gas station.
Okay, yep, that's true.
Turn left.
So we think the one next to the Chad Road. Yep. You can actually pull
You've
out
arrived.
this one
Destination is on your right.
here. Yep, perfect. Okay, we'll get that one going. If it doesn't work, I'll free off the house. First charging stop of the trip, and we are in. How about that? Plug and charge, let's go. Okay, authorize number 3 just in case. Connecting, processing, good. Plug and charge is fast. Number 3 is waiting for us as a backup. Contactors are going. Will we have the Signet Surge? Can you shut climate off? Come on, baby. Battery should be good. Let's go. Let's go. Start. Yep, good. 100. Oh yeah. 170, 180, 200, 201, 225, 250. Just stay there. I'm gonna go pee. That's good.
Me too.
All right, we just did a quick pee break, and the charging session seems to be really good. I was monitoring it at the urinal, and it just you know, hit about 250 kilowatt peak, and it's walking its way down nicely. Battery pack might have been slightly colder than we wanted. I did precondition only about, I'd say, 10 minutes away from here. Wish I preconditioned a bit earlier, but honestly, we were going real fast. So look at that, still 194 kilowatts. So we need to make a decision. I think we should rip it to the next Signet charger of these here. Just want to confirm they are Signets. Yes, SK Signets, and charging great. So Drew's off to do a quick pee. I think maybe as soon as he gets back, then that's when we'll hit the road. But this is as good as we could ask for. We are just contemplating our charging plan. We had a really good charging session here, but we're tapered down to 143 kilowatts, which is less than we would like. However, we've kind of spent enough time deliberating this that we are so close to being able to skip a charger, even though it's right off the road. It's a Gen 2 Signet that has what we're calling the Signet Surge, basically almost an incompatibility with certain cars that make it charge super variably. So I think we're gonna maybe pull out some of the range of this car and you know, balance out, just pull the speed versus range. The charger we're gonna go to is Bell Vernon. It's the same Signet chargers. It's 3 miles off the highway, but I think it's worth the little bit of a deeper charge. We've only been here 14 minutes and we've gotten a pretty good charge so far. So I think that's the move. We're gonna do a deep run on this one. So we're going to wait for 62%, and we're probably going to have to drive slightly slower on this than we did the last run. Maybe just 85 the whole way, I'm thinking. If halfway we realize we're not going to make it, there's a bailout.
Right.
There's a lot of elevation. That's my only concern.
Yep. Yep, and still wind.
Yep, still wind. So we may have to duck into that real quick, but no use sitting at 120 kilowatts. We know we can at least get that there.
Sure.
So we'll just do calculations on the way. That's right off the highway. So just waiting for it to hit 62. 62, let's go.
Run, pretty boy. Now leave him.
All right, go. Nice camera work, Timon.
Yeah. Big 3D 360 camera guy.
Yep.
Turn left on Wolf's Bridge Road. Then turn right on Willowview
I didn't
Drive.
get any charger data, but that's okay. We'll get it later.
Turn right on Willowview Drive. In 900 feet, keep right to I-76 west toward Pittsburgh. Keep right to I-76 west toward Pittsburgh. You've arrived at your destination.
So we didn't quite think we were going to make that stretch, so we're pulling off here just to do a quick top up to get us over there.
Go, sir.
Very nice. Why are we plugging into a 150? Can you pull up that trip stats? There we go. So 83 miles there. Wow, 2.2.
Right. Yeah, the wind and hills, it was clear that was just not going to work.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
We'll do a quick top up here. Hopefully we don't have too much surge. It says preparing to charge. Did you happen to precondition at all?
Yes, we
Okay.
did. Yeah, 20 minutes before.
Great. I'm just getting my naps in ahead of time here. Preparing to charge. Come on, Lucid.
Baby, let's go.
Oh, man. Let's go. So maybe long stretches not so possible then. Here we are
Not
charging.
with these conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, not, this is, I mean, we're just like getting like bucked around by the wind. So it's just.
And we got the Signet surge. Well, hopefully it'll level out and we'll get just enough to get to the next station. So after the little surge there, it ripped up and now we're getting 220 kilowatts. So it just waffled around. And so I think the trick is to stay plugged in and hope it figures itself out. So how long have we been plugged in? 1 minute.
Right.
So just to give it, you know, a few seconds to figure its thing out and then rip. So 217 kilowatts, that's what the maximum we can take at this state of charge. All right, we just referenced some documents regarding elevation. We had a big climb coming into here. So we were here for how long, does it say on that charger? Just a couple minutes, right?
Say 10?
No, there's no way.
I'm guessing 4.
4 minutes, that feels right to me. Yep, so we're up to 41%. We just did a tiny top up just to add some more to the tank. And I think maybe some of the weather conditions, of course, were pretty ugly through there. So I was asleep. Anyway, see you at the next charging stop. Sounds like Drew and Timon are making a pretty good team here this morning, and then I'll probably take over after the next charging stop.
I-76, I-70 west toward Pittsburgh.
Did we ever figure out why Alyssa was going the other way?
The other way? Oh.
Because they were going back to this charger after they already passed the...
Oh, they were turning around to go here? Well, they should never do that.
Continue straight for 1 hour and 3 minutes to exit 75, I-70 west, US 119,
I think they were
State
pretty
Route
close
66 toward Greensburg, Wheeling, West Virginia.
Well, it actually looks like we're about to intercept the girls, but I think, were a little bit confused We were just letting them know our plans, which was we were going to take a quick diversion here. So they made a U-turn, and unfortunately they're driving the other direction right now. So that's a little bit unfortunate. And yeah, what the heck? I think we made it clear now. You just keep going in the same direction you're going. And if you miss a charger, it's no big deal. We'll figure it out. Because we were only there 4 minutes. They're on a 30+ minute detour. So, crazy.
There was a state trooper in the construction site, and he decided to pull out just as we were arriving to the construction, as we were doing the speed limit. But he's currently behind us, and seems like he's picking up a bit of pace. So, best of luck.
Okay, could be interesting then.
Let's keep an eye on him.
Nice. All right, well, there's our pace car. We are now getting onto I-70 off of I-76. And we'll run this road for the next few 100 miles or so before we dip down and head closer to I-40 throughout the drive. The Lucid still has strong performance down at 12%. We are preconditioning the battery on the route, on the way to the charger. This charger is about 3 miles off the highway. It'll give a chance for the girls to catch up and get past us and get ahead of us. And we actually should have a really good sort of close police watch on the way to Ohio, where in Cambridge, one of my friends, Sky, is meeting us. And Sky will get us through a couple charging stops through Ohio so the girls can just keep cruising, fill up with fuel, and do their thing. And just kind of be on an extra lookout. So we'll have 2 spotters for the state of Ohio, which is great because that's a notorious state for speeding, police enforcement stuff. Well, we are now nearing our first, or not our first exit, not our first charging stop. I don't know what I'm saying, but we're not first anything, but we're nearing a charger, which is 3 miles off the highway. We are at 9%, 8% state of charge right now. Still another 3 miles left to go. We should be in prime time. We're hoping for no signet surge, and our hopes are high, and let's hope they don't get let down, because things are going really well. This guy has stopped in the middle of the road. Are you kidding me? Holy smokes. Let's take the exit at 2 miles an hour. We are now arriving to the Sheetz. I can see it up there. That is one hell of a way off the highway charger. But it works, I guess. Sorry, officer, we were running low on electricity. And we have arrived. My child lock won't let me out. So, we can get a quick little car wash while we're here. It's a good thing that this charging session is backed by 100% renewable energy by buying carbon credits or energy credits. All right. You have the key to it, Timon? Okay, cool. Connecting the vehicle. Ooh, doesn't it normally go payment authorized by now? Yeah, normally we got a connecting and then a payment authorized. Okay. Let's see if this one reaches. I don't think it will, but maybe that one will. Yeah, I think we're gonna do a little old swappa-wappa. The rear door. All right. Sick. All right, we're in. We're connecting the vehicle now. These are the BTC units, actually, I believe, authorized. Very good. Yeah. All right, so that's how long it should take. I don't know what was going on at the other one. Yeah, these are BTC powered. These things should rip. No issues with these right now. So I did not realize that, but that's good. Whenever you see the ETAL design at the bottom, it means it's PTC. If you don't see it, then it's Signet. So we're hoping for big power. Battery's been preconditioned. Car's being exercised properly. It's cold as crap out here. Come on, baby, let's go. 16, 30, 50, 70. Now we're talking. Come on. 80, 100. More, more, more. Let's go. 180, 190, 216, 240, 256, 273, 293. Officially the fastest charging speeds ever on a Cannonball. 293 kilowatts right there. And then it should not drop that much. So hopefully it just sits kind of around 240, 250. We'll take it. That's pretty sweet. 260. All right, we can do this with these speeds. This is good, real good. So it is roughly 110 to 112 miles to our next charging stop after this. I think we're gonna go for roughly 48 to 52% state of charge, I would think. Probably 50%. And then we'll blast, is my thought. So we've calculated that if you just kind of cruise fast, we're getting about 230 miles on a charge. But then the weather got bad and that dropped real quick. So we'll see, we'll see. All right, so our plan is to charge to roughly 48 to 49% to make the 111 mile stretch to Cambridge, Ohio. Right now we're averaging 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour. And I think we're probably going to stay somewhere around there. So we calculated it out where that's going to be the thing. We need to hit the road ASAP as possible. So I can always, if we are going too fast, slow us down a little bit. The girls just passed us, so they are now ahead. If I go over here to charging, I should be able to, as soon as we hit 48%, let's roll down the window so we can tell Drew, 48% stop charging and see if we can pull it out. There we go. Car on, into reverse, windows up, Timon is asleep. Okay, let's rock and roll out of here and see you guys along the way. In a second. Well, we're cruising along here in the Lucid. Traffic's starting to pick up some morning commute stuff, and yeah, I have to say the car itself is really quiet. I mean, it's almost like you can't tell the difference between 60 and 130. It's just a constant noise level. It's pretty impressive. The cruising stuff's all good. I mean, like, we're just having fun cruising around. We've been in just a ton of traffic. Just managing our efficiency here. We got it up to 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour, so we're good to go. So I think I'm going to use up some of our extra energy by preconditioning the battery early. Our friend Sky is waiting for us at the next charging station. The girls are still ahead of us. And essentially what they're gonna do is just skip this charger and the next one and, you know, blast over to Indiana-ish area or whenever Sky leaves us. And maybe they can stop, fuel up the car, take a little bit of rest if they're ahead of us, and then get moving. So one thing we've noticed is people just drive in the left lane for no reason. But no explanation. Either way, just a beautiful morning here. The weather's looking better. Headwind has died down a bit, and the car is performing as expected. It's actually, to me, almost a little bit better than expected. It's very nice to cruise in. A couple things I don't like: the seating position. The steering wheel's terrible. It's so thick, and there's like, you don't know what's going on there. The brake pedal's very awkward because the first this much travel doesn't do anything, so you have to like go deep for it to grab the discs. And yeah, just need to maybe get more comfortable with it. The massage though, that is good. That is a positive. So, and look at this, we just got people like going 2 miles an hour here in the Impala. Let's go. Well, we are cruising along and we found the girls in the Polestar just up ahead. So we're getting real-time spotting from them, which is great. Got some traffic in the way, but they've been really ripping it.
So it's just speed limit. We are in Mexico. Bravo. There we go.
guys. We'll see you in a couple charging stops. Appreciate it. In Cambridge, it was fun to pass the Polestar, and that thing looked really good going down the road. Spoiler, looking nice. And they actually, did they just go under us? Or are they still back there? Yeah, I think they're still back there somewhere. But I guess we're heading up over here to the Electrify America station. And Sky should be there reserving the 350 kilowatt. He seems to think that there's a 350 amp limitation on this unit. It's possible that that was put on there to help with the Signet surge, basically. It's possible, but either way, 350 amps on this car is still 245 kilowatts, which cool with me. So let's knife through traffic and get over there. And as soon as we get there, we'll say, hey, really quick, get plugged in, and then he'll hit the road and head to the Hilliard charger, which is our next one. So looks like we're just rolling up to it, 0.4 miles away. Up ahead, we are pulling into the Walmart at 4% state of charge. That's perfect because the Lucid really goes into turtle mode at 3%, my dad says. So we had a 4 to 5% target at every charging stop, and we hit that perfectly for this. So our calculations seem to be working out correctly, which is great. Where's the charger? I can see Sky over there in the Model 3. This thing needs to, we need to set it like under 10 miles an hour. Stop beeping. All right, let's get it plugged in, see how it goes. Hey, Sky, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. There we go. Pop us in if you don't mind. It's got plug and charge. Thank you, sir. How's everything?
Really good.
I got your dog with you.
Oh yeah, brought Grumman along.
Can't thank you enough for the help in doing this.
Absolutely.
This is Drew, by the way.
Drew, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
So it actually worked out perfectly. We just overtook the girls.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And
yeah,
so now they're
yeah.
cruising to Indiana.
Yeah.
So that'll be the next spot. And so this one was just working for you then.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, good stuff.
320 amps was.
Okay, but 320 amps on this is still pretty good.
50-ish?
Yeah.
Maybe, right?
Well, it should be probably 700 volts. We're at 4%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it'll come up as time goes. We have 100.
Yeah, I was hitting 125 on 370 volts or something. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. Yeah, I think we got the efficiency of the car figured out now. 3% it goes into turtle mode. You can't use it really.
Oh wow.
So our target's a 4% arrival.
It's doing that bouncing right now.
Fans are on. Yep, we're getting the Signet surge. Yep. So we've seen this happen a few times, and then we've seen it after like 1 minute kind of stop recently. So we'll keep an eye on this, and hopefully the surge goes away and we get good speeds.
89 miles is amazing.
We're getting that Signet surge. Hate to see that. Headwind, yeah, we've had quite a bit of it. No, it was doing okay, and now it's not. But maybe it'll settle itself out. I don't know what's going on. There goes Gromit and Sky. Thank you, guys. A spotter for this leg. We'll see you in Hilliard. All right, nice. So he's juiced up, and we're Signet surging. Let's hope it settles down. We could just plug into a 150 and give it a go, Drew. Or even unplug and replug in. I don't know. We had too much Signet surge, so we're just giving it a go here on this 150 kilowatt unit to see if it does the same. We didn't have to move the car, didn't take too much time away, and I think our average charging speed was somewhere around 80 or 90 kilowatts. So we're not really giving up that much because we're not getting anything that great. That charger's completely dead right over there. The other 350's completely dead. Contactors just click, cable cooling on, ramping. Let's go, baby. 100. Well, this is better than what we had before, to be honest. But Sky did say these were amperage limited. So what we may want to do is give it a couple seconds and then plug into this one here again. I don't know. I just ran in to use the restroom here, and I saw that this 350 kilowatt on my way back said it had an available port, but it shows a message saying the charger is derated to provide a better service experience for maintenance or something like that. Temporarily reduced in order to improve service and perform an update. Well, let me tell you what, they ain't doing that. So, what a pain. This one's dead. This one's steady at 127, at 128. What's been going on?
Right as you walked up, I was just about to pull it and put the 150 back on, and now it stabilized at 129.
Okay, so we're gonna get just enough to make it, and I think traffic's gonna be pretty dense, so we'll probably be a little bit under what we have left. Yeah.
More expensive electric vehicles.
Cadillac Celestiq.
Sure.
What else?
Rimats.
Yeah, Walmart. Charge your Rimats at Walmart.
Oh my god.
Hey, Timon.
Hey, good morning.
He heard Rimats and he was ready to rock.
Yeah.
That could be a real cannonball car.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yep, Mate. We got a cannonball one of those. Alrighty. Okay. So, how far is it to the next stop? We need to calculate that. 86 miles, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's cold. There's no way it's 52 degrees outside. It's
wet.
Way
52.
colder than that. It says partly cloudy, 37 on my watch. That seems more reasonable.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just like, I don't know about humidity anymore.
Yeah,
it's
living
like,
in Denver.
It feels like 40 degrees colder.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Even now it says to get to Redondo Beach, 43 hours, 12 minutes, which we are tracking way faster than that. Right now our average is 68 miles an hour. Overall average. We really need to get that to 72, which I think out west we can do that. So just need to get through the middle of the country here. Well, we are still just sitting here at 130 something kilowatts. It's just an amperage limitation. I don't know if it's in some fallback safety mode, but definitely not behavior I've seen before on these. Either way, not good at all. We definitely wasted some energy preconditioning for a relatively poor session. But 89 miles away is where we're heading. We're heading to an EVgo Delta 350 kilowatt charger. Sky is on his way there to block it. I think we'll meet the girls there as well, actually. And then they'll take on spotting for the next leg. And yep, all seems to be pretty crappy here. But I think we can make up some time after this. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Well, we're just pulling out of this station with 38% state of charge, sort of as planned. We have 89 miles of range to go. I am holding us up by not paying any attention, and we're just going to swiftly make our way over to the next charging station in Hilliard. That's where we'll meet everyone. So Sky was nice enough to give us some windshield devices, which is great. And it should come in handy as the trip progresses and warms up and we get more bugs. But it's still early in the morning. It's 8:50 a.m. and we got a lot more distance to cover. So hammer down and keep on moving. A lot of cops on this stretch. We've already heard of a few along the way. So this is a one to maximize a little bit of efficiency. Thanks to Sky for giving us detailed information. Excuse me, the Red Bull's hitting me. I'm starting to wake up. We're feeling good. The speeds are back to where they kind of need to be. We actually were too efficient. So now we need to burn some juice, especially knowing hopefully we're going to at least get a pretty good charge where we're headed to. So we are hammered down and let's go see if we can rip it into that Hilliard, Ohio EA station. That's our goal. Welcome to Columbus, Ohio. We are...
welcome to Big Ultima Energy.
Yeah, we're getting some Big Ultima Energy here. Oh, here we go. Sorrento, going for it. That's nice. That's what we're talking about here. We're not too far away from our charger. We're at 8% state of charge, just maintaining a good pace. And yeah, not going to do anything crazy. Downtown, I-70 West. That's our plan. Nice time. Beetle with the brown top. Oh, nice choice. But if it's a diesel, that would be pretty cool. But it actually might be. Does it say TDI on the back? A tan top TDI Beetle.
Dude, wow. Yeah, that's
hell yeah. Dieselgate. Thank you for Electrify America. It also sucks. All right, 4% state of charge. Perfect. Again, we have got this car down. Sky, get off the charger. There he goes. He's freaking out. All right, let's get this thing juicing. If you don't mind.
Right. Oh, shit. I was trying to.
No, it broke on the way up. Okay, timer. Are we on the right side? Yes. This is timer, and I'm going to hit start charging. 39 cents per kilowatt hour. Thank you, Windy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sky. Got us good info. We hammered it the last little bit on the way in.
Good.
There we go. Contactors clicking.
So it was pulling 320, 330 amps on this car, but it was way up there at 40% stage charge. So not a great test of the charger.
Okay. Well, here we go. Connection successful. And we'll go to the nerd screen. We're at 818 volts at 4%. Oh my God. And kilowatt 339, 341, 342, 345. Hell yes. That's how we get a cannonball. Fans are ripping. It's preconditioned. It's windy. Let that thing charge up until it really tapers, but we're still over 300 kilowatts. That's what we need. That's why we came to EVgo. Not sponsored yet.
Yeah.
Well, we are very thankful to EVgo for having this charger absolutely send the juice. That's what we're looking for, and that's how we get this record. We were bumming at 130 kilowatts before. We've had a couple good charging sessions so far. One bad one, I would say. That last one really screwed us. But our moving average is teetering between record-breaking time and not.
It's a little chilly outside.
Yeah, it is a little chilly outside. So let's figure out where we want to go next. We're still over 200 kilowatts, which is great. We're following the internal charge profile. Why can't I talk? Sorry. And, all right, let's take a look at our charger options next. We ran into the girls. I thought they were leaving ahead of us. And, man, Polestar 1 looks good. Hey there. We need you guys to rip ahead of us. I just sent you a new updated address. Okay. The stretches were a little bit longer than I anticipated with the charging curve, so we're doing the charger hop. But we're getting a great session here. Yeah. Oh, you got us cookies? Thank you. You doing all right, Michaela?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna try and sleep.
All right, you've been sending it. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, have a good drive.
Bye.
What a cool car. What are we charging at right now? Let's take a look. We're at 860 volts, 165 kilowatts, almost 200 amps. 13 minutes, 46 kilowatt hours. Pretty good. There go the girls. That is just a mega car. So windy. After this, the wind will die down. We'll have a smooth part in the center of the country. That's the plan, at least. This is the last of the wind. Look at how good that thing looks. So we're just charging up here and contemplating when we should leave, if we should leave now and drive just more reasonably. I think we should. 60% to go 167 miles, I think seems reasonable. That's like 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour target. And the wind should die down as we go that way. So I say, let's unplug and send it. Sky, it was great to see you.
It's great to see you.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
See you later. And you guys enjoy, and can't thank you enough. It was super helpful.
Good luck.
All right, thank you. We'll see ya.
Thank you.
So stop charging, end session. There we go, connector released. And I don't know which position I'm in. I'm going spotter. Did the charge port close? Yes. Oh, yeah, it fixed itself. Ish. See you, dude. Thanks. That's awesome. The girls are about 10 minutes ahead. So let's rock and roll. Well, Timon, you're in the driver's seat.
Yep, finally.
And what's your strategy for this leg here? How are you going to handle this one?
Foot down all the way until we have to go 30 miles an hour now.
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, I just think, you know, 85-ish, you know, just kind of cruise a little bit faster than traffic. The girls are already letting us know about some obstacles ahead that we should be aware of. Might be interested in those. And it's cold. The Lucid says it's 73 out. Let me tell you something. It is, let me just hit this, 41 degrees out, not 73. So, and it feels every bit of 41, if not colder. But all is good. Our average, we really need to get up. That was a long charging session though. It was the longest I think we've done, but that's because we went up to 60% or so, which doesn't sound like much, but on this car, I mean, we did get quite a bit of energy in that time. So let's go 70 west and hammer down towards Indianapolis or one of those places. I always get confused in the middle of the country, but we're going.
Somewhere west.
166 miles, 2-hour drive. I'm eating a chocolate chip cookie. Get on the binoculars here in a bit, and I don't think we need to go too crazy, but this dude definitely needs to hit the throttle. That's all right. One of the funny things about Cannonball is you end up seeing the same cars over and over and over again. So I did kind of a hard pass on this F-150. So I guess keep with tradition.
I'll pay attention.
So we've calculated out with 44% remaining, 116 miles. We can get like 2.4, 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour left to still make it to the charger. So we are in full send mode, or not full send, but brisk mode. Not at 72 miles an hour in traffic, but at least time we can open the taps when the traffic conditions allow, such as now. Very nice. And another pass. That's the third time we passed that. We have a fun Cannonball story about Acura MDXs. Timon, do you want to explain?
Yeah, so as we were entering California, there's so much traffic.
This is on the last run.
Yeah, so much traffic. It was only 2 lanes, and people are getting a little antsy. We were getting antsy because we just wanted to move and make sure that we got to Portofino on time. But an MDX had a different idea and thought he'd just take the shoulder all the way past traffic, but ended up hitting something and like completely destroyed his front end.
Yes, and then like 20 minutes later, he flies by us at top speed. But that wasn't the only MDX. We had other MDXs throughout that drive that ripped really hard. So the cannonballing thing is, you know, try and rile up an MDX and they'll at least go as fast as their car can go.
Yeah.
Time in Ohio is one of those brutal states.
Yeah, you only come through here during Cannonball and that's it.
That's it. And there's just so many cops. I mean, we've seen at least 40 in the state. An unbelievable number of police. So the girls are ahead. They made it out of the state. We're at mile marker 3. There's just looks like there's one more cop that we're going to see, and then we are into Indianapolis here pretty soon. Crazy. Come back soon, Timon.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Oh, what a miserable state to drive in. On to better things now, hopefully. Last time I went through Indy on a Cannonball, we got stuck for 3 hours. So,
that doesn't happen.
Yep, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Come on, MDX.
MDX, do your thing.
A great story about you.
You got the shouty. Super handling all-wheel drive. Put it to work. We have gotten a lot of traffic in this run, and I'm not sure this long stretch strategy is working out for our average speed. We got some KA up ahead. Yep, we are going to have to really hammer down after this charging session. We need a fast charge and hit the road. Welcome to Indianapolis. And this is actually the first leg of the trip where we are using the Polestar for the Advantage where we got it. Essentially, the girls blasted ahead of us to reserve the 350 kilowatt charger, juice up the Polestar until we roll into the parking lot. Then they'll quickly unplug and we'll pull in next to them and juice up. That's the idea. So, yep, let's see how well this strategy works. We're deploying it for the first time 700 miles in. But even if it helps us, you know, twice, that's worth it for the entire run right there.
Exactly. As long as it's blocked and we can use it, it's way better than using a 150.
Yeah, as long as we don't get the Signet yo-yo, because these are Signet stations.
Yeah.
So, damn.
But it seems like it's either in the first minute it fixes itself, or in the first like 10 minutes
right.
It fixes itself.
So far we've seen it recover, but it's never recovered to full speed.
Correct.
Recovers to a derated speed. But that's better than nothing. And then hopefully ABB chargers. I think after this we go to maybe one more Signet and then a Delta 350 kilowatt EVgo. And then I think it's ABB for the rest of the trip until California.
Sweet.
Let's keep our fingers crossed. Well, that's what we need. Green light, yes. Oh my gosh, we got lucky here. Yeah, baby. We are at 8% state of charge. We are pulling into, I assume, the Walmart up here. And we are ready to juice. I would get in the left lane and drag race this Corolla. He doesn't know what's coming for him. So we're gonna go full send. Even though we were all telling Timon to pull in, he just blew right past the entrance. So green light on left. Yellow light on left. And now we're stuck at the light. Nice. Good work. And to the right. There they are with the Polestar. Nice. Oh, empty. So that wasn't needed. Everyone always said this was one of the busiest stations. So I guess they're getting it juicing. Holy, can this person get out of our way? Oh my God. Okay, where's the 350? 150? Nope, other side, other side. Right here. Hey there. There were so many cops on that stretch, weren't there?
Lots of cops, lots of rocks.
Yeah, did you get damage to the car?
Yeah.
Where?
All in here. And
Oh yeah,
there.
just needs a windshield.
Yeah.
Well, shit happens. All right. Well, keep sending it, and we'll see you at the next one.
Okay,
All right, bye-bye. And Timon says we are charging even though our screen is dead. So let's see how this is doing. What's it doing?
Charge.
Preparing to charge?
Yep.
Good. Good.
Not really changing though.
Not really changing, is it?
No.
It does take a while though. There we go. So the screen's just dead, but the charger's going.
Yep.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
What? Not good. Signet surge.
Oh, back up. Back down.
Well, I'd rather it go between 120 and 160 than 70 and 40.
Yep.
Well, oh, it just showed 100. Well, we'll let it figure itself out. Well, we are dealing majorly with the Signet surge. Looks like Timon moved the car when I ran into P really quick. And same behavior as the other charger, right? Yep. Yeah, it's just the software.
60 to 90.
Oh my God. We can't break a record like this. Charging power limited by station. No shit. Who would have thought that would be the case? What absolute trash. That's a nice way of saying it. Yeah, oh my gosh. Polestar's ripping. They're just plugging in and waiting for us and then filling up with gas.
Yeah, so easy.
So easy. That's the future. Holy shit, this really sucks. This is not good. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 140. What if we just moved to a 150? All right, one last try moving. We're going to try a 150 kilowatt, hoping this doesn't freak it out. But we were getting 60 kilowatts over there. I mean, how do they expect us to break a Cannonball with 60 kilowatts? Or how do they expect anyone to buy this car? Can you hit the charge port button? Okay, you don't know where it is. Yeah, all right. You got to hit it, though, because this is broken. All right, we're on.
60, 70.
So same behavior as before.
Yeah.
God damn it. So we're stuck at 60 to 70 kilowatts.
So then should we plug into the 350?
No.
Just leave
it doesn't matter at this point. If it goes up to max here, then maybe we will. This can't be good for the car, can't be good for the chargers. And the fact that this software was able to be deployed is insane. I know they were exploding power modules, and this probably was the software they tried to fix it with, but it ain't working. So like, test your shit before you deploy it. Everyone's just pissed. But it's been the same story for years.
Yeah, I mean, as they should be.
Yeah.
I would hate, I spend so much money on, say, like Rivian, a Lucid, and then you can't even get it to work properly.
Well, it's like we know all the charging people at at
Right.
and they're just like, this sucks. Why do we have to rely on this garbage network? And you know what? Someone's just got to say it. It is. It's unbelievable.
115 now.
It's at 115. That's what we saw last time. We'll take 115. Absolute trash. Should be doing 300 kilowatts almost on a 350. Insane. All right, well, I'm now in the Lucid, and Timon ran inside, Drew's inside, and we just can't get this thing to get every charger is different. So we're like, let's just try that. Let's try this. What do we have to lose? Come on, baby, let's go. That's what we need. That's what we need. Don't go down. Don't. No, no, no. No. Battery's preconditioned. Give us the juice. All right, well, maybe it was worth, if we can hold this, maybe it was worth unplugging from that at 115 kilowatts and plugging into that 350 over there to give us this. Holy crap, this is insane. It shouldn't be this hard to get good charging. Charging should be simple. Oh my gosh, it's really gonna cost us the run. Our average speeds are down every time we hit this. We gotta work so hard just to claw back. So at least we're getting good speeds. We are deciding to unplug because it's starting to go all over the place again. Yep, you can do it that way. That works great. And car on, charge port closing. We are going to Terre Haute, Terry something, because I don't know, I think as soon as that guy plugged in, it freaked out a little bit of the system, but we got fairly okay charge. Everyone peed and we're ready to rock and roll. You pooped? I was standing in line. There was a little man who was jumping up and down.
Yes.
You saw him?
We talked. He was saying, "Quite in."
I couldn't understand, but I figured you could speak Chinese. What was he saying?
Yeah, he said, "I need to poop. Fucking hurry up."
Yeah, the dude was in there just taking his sweet time. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Like, you could use the urinal. So we've been on the road now for just about 10 minutes since we left the charger, and we have some reports of some activity up here that we just want to be mindful of, so we're going to take it nice and easy. The Lucid's doing much better now that it's warming up outside. So noticing where we were getting 2.2, 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour, now in the same conditions we're getting 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, just because the temperature is raised from high 30s to mid 50s. So we're really pleased with that. We've also actually, most of the beginning of this run, not used climate control. We just haven't needed it. The occasional heated seat here or there, but now that it's getting warm and the sun's out, we are running air conditioning. And
watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
And yeah, no, the car's doing great. We're doing a very short stint right now from Indianapolis to Terre Haute, where hopefully we don't get the Signet Surge. If we do, thankfully it's right off the highway. We'll charge up just enough to get to the Firefly Grill, which is also just off of the highway, the next one. The one after that will be at an EVgo charger, and then I think we're ABB. So maybe only 1 or 2 Signets left, worst case, for the foreseeable future, which I'm really pleased with, because this car does not like Signet chargers. And it's a bit of a shame. This is really not a race against anything except the infrastructure. So we are doing our best to keep speeds up. We've already got average speed up 1 on this short leg so far, and we will continue to do the same.
Got an exploding tire.
Yeah, this guy's tire is literally disintegrating. He has no idea. He's just leaving tire all over the road on the oversized load. Absolutely insane. I don't know which tire it is. Yeah, that's we said that.
Oh. Oh.
Oh. Oh no, he's full price.
Holy shit. That dude his pants. Man.
Woo! Everyone looked okay.
Yeah.
We were totally fine. We had
Absolutely.
That was great.
And you got that.
Yeah, I got it.
That's why we always record. That was awesome. Not only did that dude just lead us for like 20 miles at top speed, then he crashed. But wow, the braking performance of this is not great on those little tires.
Yeah, you gotta plan ahead.
Yeah, for sure. It's a heavy thing to stop with 245 hockey pucks. Wow, that was awesome. Welcome to Terre Haute.
11 US 40 East, Indiana 46 West.
That way. Alright, let's bump up the suspension, and then, well, it's preconditioning, so we can't. But we will just send it through here. And we are taking a right turn, correct?
Yes.
Look at all that regen pulling us down. Nice. 11% state of charge pulling into Terre Haute. this? Why is it going to Bell Vernon? Are you touching things with your hand over here?
Oh, maybe.
But let's pull in. Let's juice up. The girls are with the Polestar, and I believe they have the spot. It's at the Walmart, right? Or is it at the Meijer?
It's the Meijer.
Is it a Meijer? Or is it Walmart?
It's got to be. Well, it's EA, right?
It says it's up there, but I don't trust Waze. It's got to be at the Walmart. Can someone pull up the EA app and see where it is?
Girl.
Turn left. Then turn left.
I'm checking Walmart. I think Waze has the wrong address.
Turn left on Joe Fox Street. Then turn right.
Walmart. Good. Okay, we made the right call.
Turn left.
When in doubt,
Then
EA is
turn
always
left
at
on Joe
Walmart.
Fox
I
Street.
don't even see them.
Back corner.
You see them?
I think so, yeah. I see a white post.
Okay. Yeah, just haven't seen them.
Watch traffic.
Yeah, I'm looking every direction I can, but I only got 2 eyes and 1 gimbal.
Start honking. Move, ladies. Move. A lot going on.
Sorry. Yep, going up. Sorry, dude. We're not watching it.
Hectic.
All right. Well, that sucked. In the charger.
He's on the run. We've got a viewer. We've got a viewer. Hey, Cal, how's it going?
We love our viewers.
Still preparing to charge. There we go. Connectors are going. $200. Nope. 100. Well, yo-yoing starts again.
Well, we just met Terry here in Terry Out, and he's from Vermont, hardcore viewer. And yeah, we have to say it different every time, but we're getting the Signet Surge. And so he thought he saw Alyssa, and then he saw us, and he was like, something's going on here. But the good old Surge. This is thankfully one of 2. Now, we have a couple options. We can swap the handle, and restarting the charging session may just be good, because this was around the time when we stayed a charge, when we actually got a solid session. So let's...
Is this, I think it's 2
yeah.
or 3. That's 2.
That's 3. This one's 2.
Station or just cable?
Cable. Let's try cable. All right, so when you're ready, Drew, I'll have this one queued up for you. And stop. That's not the best way to stop the charger. If you pull the emergency stop, it blows the contactors.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, just push that down. Stupid. I hate automatic charge port doors. Yeah, door is so slow. They need a manual door that we can just bam, open.
At least it's getting nice and warm out.
So that may have been actually even too fast for this station. I hear windows.
That means it's not doing anything.
I would say.
You hear that, even though
What does the charger? What does the car say?
preparing to charge.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yep, I did that last time too, and it was there for like 2 minutes.
Okay, unplug and replug. Oh, wait. Connecting to vehicle? Sorry, it just changed.
I'll give it a couple minutes.
Quality
It didn't like the fast swap. You can do the fast swap between stations, but maybe not on the same station.
Just a reboot.
All right, this is too long. Let's unplug and replug in. Oh, processing payment. I'm so sorry. Payment authorized. We're too impatient. Initiating charging. I just love that when you hit the button, you get the Windows chime. Is it going to charge? There we go. No cable cooling.
So it's preparing to charge.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe soon.
Nice car. What kind is it?
It's called a Lucid. Yeah.
80, 70, 70.
90, 100, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 70. Let's just give it some time. I don't know what else we can really do. All right, we are having the same issues as you would imagine. So we still haven't totally figured out if we should switch or not switch. There's no real conclusion other than it's different every time. So I'm thinking we switch. So Drew's pulling the Lucid around to this 350 kilowatt, and let's just hope we get some better speeds here. We really hammered it hard on that last run, which was awesome. So eventful. And let's get the charge port open. I'll get it plugged in, see what happens. And yeah, same thing, right, Drew?
Yeah.
Okay, well, guess we just gotta
similar speeds.
Deal with it. It's crazy. Well, yeah, we're charging at 50 kilowatts on average. There's just no way. We gotta try something. We can't do that. But I know it can at least get better than 50 kilowatts. Why won't this unlock? Will you hit stop unlock charging, perhaps? Is it locked to the car?
No. I don't have it unlock.
Oh, can you unlock the car? Yeah, like the key. Yeah, hit unlock. Thanks. There we go. I was about to pull the emergency release. All right, just back up slightly. That's good. Charge port open to Effingham.
How far away is that?
Not far.
That's good. Yeah, we're out. You already told them we're on the 150?
No. Oh yeah. Now we're at 100 kilowatts. Hey, that's good.
Stepping up.
So like I said, we've experienced this too, right, Timon, where the first minute, sometimes it just freaks out, and then it stabilizes, and it seems to do better on the 150s than the 350s. What is the issue happens?
Do you know why, or just
too
much power?
No one knows we're doing this run. We didn't tell Electrify America. We didn't tell Lucid. They have no clue. But they just texted me. They said, hey, Kyle, in case you're not aware that Lucid has some problem charging on Signet. I'm like, yeah, I know. This has been the bane of our existence.
Yeah.
So here comes the EV6 rolling up. But we're only getting 100 kilowatts. We're going to blast. We only have to go 73 miles. Again, short stops to the Firefly. And then after that, it's EVgo, Delta, and who knows what after that.
Perfect.
Yeah, better than this 100 kilowatt bullshit.
Yeah.
So our plan is to eat the 100 kilowatt charging right now, while Drew eats some jerky. And then we're going to go to Effingham, which is at the Firefly Grill, which is also going to suck. And we're going to charge up just enough to get to St. Louis and do another one of those 350 kilowatt EVgo big boys. But
something to look forward to.
If we have any issues after that, there's no way we can break this thing. Yeah.
We need it to be perfect.
It needs to be absolutely perfect. We'll see how it goes, but it's not looking good. All right, we're unplugged 30%, 73 miles. Let's send it. There's nothing really we can do. So it has to do with the very specific voltage range of the car is kind of what we're figuring out, that when the Lucid's dead, it doesn't like the Signet charger. So an alternative might be to plug in actually a higher state of charge. But we only got one more charger to deal with this, so let's just go do it. Get the heck out of this issue.
Continue straight for 60 minutes to I-57 South, I-70 West.
So we're figuring out the Signet surge issue here, which is around 800 volts or maybe just below it, just below 800 volts. The Lucid really freaks out with Signet chargers. Again, the car is fine. The car is not doing this. This is all Signet chargers. The Lucid's actually performing wonderfully for the drive. It's really awesome. However, the Signet chargers are freaking out with the operating voltage of the car, which is no fault of the car. So actually what probably would help us with speed, I wish we did a little bit more testing, would have been to arrive at higher states of charge at Signet chargers. The problem is our charging curve would then be crap. So I don't really know the trade-off there. Either way, it's not good, whichever way you put it. I think we took the lesser of two evils because on some of those Signet chargers, we did get good charging speeds and probably would have been slower if we tried to arrive at higher state of charge, which would have been higher pack voltage. We have one last Signet stop to go, and we'll deal with the wobble issue up until we have just the last mile of range roughly to make it to St. Louis to the EVgo unit, and then that unit can give us all the juice we need. So fingers crossed it all goes well and we can start clawing back some time, because we are currently tracking behind the record and actually behind our Taycan record, which is not very good. We need good charging to make a good record. The driving's actually, I think, been faster than when we did the Taycan run. We're really managing some pretty good speeds, but infrastructure is letting us down. It's not a new story, unfortunately. It's the same thing. I got about a 10-minute nap in. It feels like about 4 hours. I thought we had like done multiple charging stops, but apparently we only made it about 10 minutes farther down the road from when I went to bed. But Drew's been successfully keeping the car afloat.
I-70 West.
And this is such a comfortable car. The back seat room is amazing. Like, to do distance in compared to the Taycan, this is next level in terms of interior space and just, yeah, noise performance. I think is really good, actually. So I'm very much into it. And the massage seats aren't bad, but we had the massage seats in the Taycan too. We were saying yesterday we wouldn't do a Taycan unless we had massage seats. It just wouldn't be a non-starter. So I guess we are battery preconditioning. So cool beans. Firefly Grill. There's our friend from Vermont, Terry. What is that? Waze that makes that noise?
Yeah, I think it's when you get an achievement.
Furthest from?
Yeah, Terry. All the way on the right. All the way on the right. All right. I can hear the AC pre-cooling the battery pack for preconditioning. Ports open. Timing's running. Turn climate off. And let's ride this wave. Terry's beating us in a Kona because of the surge. The Kona doesn't have the Signet surge problem because it operates at a different voltage level. Look, the AC compressor is screaming on this thing. All right, we are here plugged in. Terry's here. He's beating us in the Kona, although he's pretty high state of charge. I think he's doing some top charges. From Vermont, all by himself. He's going to New Mexico, I think. We are at the voltage range where the Signet surge is happening. Our theory is we just leave it plugged in. Hopefully it will stabilize once we're out of that voltage range. If it does stabilize only around, let's say, 100 kilowatts like what we've seen, our theory is by that point, hopefully it's stabilized. Maybe the charger's gone into some sort of fail-safe. We'll, at that point, unplug and re-plug in. We'll probably give it an extra few minutes so that the standard voltage of the battery pack, non-charging voltage, is out of this range. Then hopefully we can get some good speeds. So with Signets, we know not to arrive low state of charge is kind of what we're feeling. Well, let's just think about how much faster we could be if we were getting 300 kilowatts at each one of these. All right, we just did a little running race and I lost. No surprise. So still doing the good old situation. And I don't think moving would make any difference. So let's keep it going. And then hopefully we'll level out somewhere soon. Hearing this electrical buzzing. You hear that? It sounds like something's not happy. Any faults in the car, Timon?
Not that I can see.
But do you hear that buzzing?
Yeah.
It sounds like something's shorting out, doesn't it?
Blow up.
It's possible. Guys, our predictions were correct. We got through the hardship and now we're charging at 227 kilowatts. AC cooling just kicked on the car. So basically if we arrive at a Signet charger, it's a 20% arrival. Yep, that's the move, because we started about 100 kilowatts and then it goes down to 30, 40, and then it figures its thing out. So now we're charging fast. That's great. All right, so I think we got this figured out, and there's certain ranges. So the 20% arrival definitely works, and we shot up to 32%. The car is like jolting.
Like shaking?
Yes.
Huh.
I just felt like the motor's like, it's happening right now. The whole car is just jolting.
Are you sure you're not just like...
Do you feel that?
tired and then.
No, you don't feel that? The motors are legit getting energized through this surge.
I think that's in your head.
No, it hasn't happened. There you go.
There it goes. Oh, what is that?
Could that be the AC compressor?
Like starting and stopping?
No, that's motors. There's no way this can be good for the car to surge it.
Oh, that's so strange. I don't think you can really record that.
No, the car's going doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, it's like it's getting just like light bursts of power, but it's stuck on the parking brake.
Yes. Maybe you should keep your foot on the brake. Oh.
That is so strange.
I've never experienced anything like that before. All right. We are now at 100 kilowatts, flopping all over the place. The car, you got the brake cover just in case it jolts forward on Drew. Okay, and oh yeah, there's our friend. Stopped. Yeah, I know. It's because we were stuck at that charger forever. We'll see you later.
Take care.
Our viewers are the best. KA band. Wow, the phone really doesn't pick up that screen very well.
Sorry, truck, but you're just gonna have to slow down.
Yeah. All right, things going off, and there's the police, and there's one on the other side as well. Nasty spots here. We've never heard it go off this hard yet. It's the legendary battle of the Hogan versus the CR England. Who's gonna win? They've been doing this for ages. Since 1962. They've been battling out in the trucking game, and they've been traveling the same road. It looks like we're about to witness, potentially, Hogan take the lead sometime in the next 10 years. The weather has warmed up and the wind has died down, and we're starting to really realize this Lucid efficiency here. We've been keeping it relatively tame, just been, Alyssa and Michaela told us they saw like 20 cops on this stretch, gave us the mile markers of all of them, and they did a lot of reconnaissance work, and they're just like, just go slow on this one. And which was fine because we wanted to stretch it to this charger, and actually we got better efficiency than we expected. Again, the whole trip so far we're at 2.5. This stretch 3.1, 3.2 you can see there. Very impressive considering, I mean, we're not going that slow, but yep, we're just cruising along normally, I would say. And yeah, not all cannonballing is flat out. With these charging issues, we really need to balance our strategy here, but we're 11 minutes away from the make or break, the gateway to the west, St. Louis. All right, Timon, we're about a third of the way through the drive. I can see just the tip of the arch over there. The gateway to the west. We got a lot of work to make up. Just icing the charger. They're right over there.
Left here?
Left here. How is this the most confusing parking lot in the world?
Thank you for taking off your seatbelt.
You're welcome. Oh, they're plugging in the bolt. We gotta go to the other one. Yep. Yeah, go to the other one. Yep. Are they plugging? Yep. Okay, that's the one we need then. It's okay. I can activate it here. We just need you to. I'll just plug it in. Oh, the board. All right, this one was broken the other day. Let's hope it's ripping. Suspense is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Next one successful.
Oh, thank God.
All right, 315 kilowatts, 317, 320, 322. That's what we're looking for. Hakaya. Sending the power, 320 kilowatts. Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Well, as we're sitting here getting over 300 kilowatts, or just about 300, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Probably didn't stay hot, but it's enough.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
All right.
All right, you guys are off. We don't know for sure our next stop. We'll let you know. Let's check in with Michaela over here. How's the Polestar treating you?
It's doing good. Not driving the city.
What?
She's not very good.
Not good in the city?
No.
All right. Well, just remember,
It's fine.
floor it. Just when in doubt.
So you keep saying it's a fast car.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. You guys rock and roll. We'll see you over at the next charger. Thank you.
There are stickers on the side. You can see it's a sticker.
And she's got to make a U-turn. This is most of
You
cannonballing.
get to see it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on back. Come on back.
Wrap around.
Yeah, yeah. Well, guys, this is the best charging we've had yet. 200 kilowatts, still at 30%. We've added 22 kilowatt hours or delivered to the car. That's what we're looking for. So let's just get more of that, please, Lucid. Battery pack, I think, was at the right temperature because it cooled itself down on the arrival. AC cooling kicked itself as soon as we plugged in, and it seems to just be ripping. That's what we like to see. And things just continue to operate as the Lucid was engineered to operate. We are at 172 kilowatts at 43% state of charge. Voltage almost up into the 900s pretty soon. Pretty crazy. I think it's 924 volts at 100%. So this thing is insane. And now we're really starting to enjoy it. Honestly, starting to really like this car for long distance driving. It's just the garbage charging infrastructure. So a huge thanks to EVgo for at least making sure these are online. And we're slightly off the highway, but man, are we saving so much time. Sometimes I think the last time it took 15 minutes just for the Yo-Yo to stop. And we're at 11 minutes at 44%. That's great.
Yep.
Okay, we're at 67%, 165 miles to go. Alyssa said there's quite a bit of traffic. We're gonna hit stop charging. We're gonna go actually climate control off. Should be good. And we're gonna go windows down to get us out of the city. And our plan is to hypermile. Why are we in Dave's profile?
So one way, but
This isn't a one way, is it?
no.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Not at all.
I'm not
But then you
paying
had the
any
confidence to just pretend like it's
I
not.
don't really care. We're not coming back here. Okay, let's go.
No cops yet, but a bit of traffic.
Oh, I must have gotten bad. Okay, smooth.
It's 4:30.
Sorry, you got places to be.
Mission.
She wasn't even paying attention, so
No,
nice.
you don't care. Trying to push everyone out of the way.
Hit the middle, even though it's very illegal.
Ooh, nice. Squeezing.
That was awkward as hell.
Okay, this looks not good.
Is it a single vehicle accident?
No, his like
Oh, the other cars.
rear end. The other cars look better. I guess it couldn't move his Jeep. This is the one we do. Wow, that's a hit.
She smashed that.
Right.
Drew, how many times have we passed this F-150 from New York?
This might be number 4 or something.
We may as well just like get to know his name. Like, hey.
Just had a huge sneeze as we passed.
Oh, really? That's great.
He
just is like cruising so slow.
Yeah, very chill. and we're tied.
So we're keeping up with a combustion truck.
Right.
But barely. We need to really... So the situation is a little bit grim right now, but not unobtainium.
Totally.
We have, we're exactly a third of the way through, maybe just over a third.
Yep.
And we need to raise our average speed 10 miles an hour for the rest of the drive. Wow. Not big
that doesn't help.
I thought. And this thing's heavy on 245, so like the braking takes a little while. We have to do a couple little panic stops just occasionally, and like you got to plan it. You know, send in the letter, say, hey, maybe in the next 3 months I'd like to hit the brakes and slow down. And it's like, and that's why you should put stickier tires on your Lucid.
Right, yeah. Low rolling resistance is also low grip.
Yes, very low grip. But we do that going into it's actually kind of fun because you just go into any corner and it's just tire squealing. What else should we say? We have a lot of speed to make up. That charging session was great. That stop traffic was not great. But I'm feeling pretty good because we're got a lot of charge in the battery. We're going to do a pretty long stretch here. We're just kind of using the airflow of traffic to help us. The weather's warm. It's 80 degrees and sunny. Our efficiency, let's see how that's looking, 2.6, but I was kind of sending it a little bit. But I think we're okay. And I think maybe I'll take it out of sprint mode now. And we're just going to have to hammer down.
Yep. Pray for good charging and hammer down.
If ABB chargers give us trouble, there's no chance.
Yo, game over. Yeah, right.
Charging. There we go. Doing the Signet Surge. Yep, hopefully by the time we get 20%, it'll rip. That's our goal. I tried to get here as close to 20% as I could. Kind of backed it off a bit. I didn't really even precondition it all that hard, just about 10 minutes out, because I knew we were going to get the Signet Surge and it was going to run the AC compressor as soon as we plugged in. So, all right, looks like Alyssa's cleaning our windshield and let's go. So how far ahead of us did you get here? Well, can't thank the girls enough for just making sure the chargers were working here. We're doing the Signet Surge, of course, but it's great to see them every stop. You exploding water bottles?
No, just dropping.
Did you fill it with fuel while you were here?
They don't have premium, but we're
really?
Half a tank, so I was gonna wait until.
Okay. Just remember, through the middle of the night, it might be hard to find fuel unless we're at one of those love stops.
Right. Yeah. The next stop.
Y'all doing all right?
I'm over here.
What's going on?
I've got everything.
Everything? Oh no. Oh my God, what do you have in this car?
And my phone that you guys have. My phone is lost somewhere in the car also.
Oh yeah? Nice.
Can't find it.
Well, I hope you guys are having fun making a video.
Are you guys eating any of the snacks I got you?
Yeah, all of them.
Have you tried the blue and white bag, the sausage one? Oh, those are good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well,
you guys need any energy drinks or anything?
I just really have to pee. You guys hit the road.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. You're doing a pretty good pace. Just mark them on Waze too when you see them. Are we out of the Signet Surge yet? No. It'll do this and then it'll level out. We just have to deal with it. I think this is our last Signet stop. I'm going to text you a random charger. We're going to Francis Energy.
Huh?
Yeah. All right, I just ran in to use the restroom and our theory was great. We want to arrive as close to 20% as possible on these Signet chargers. We scrambled around for a few minutes and now we're shot up to almost 300 kilowatts, 240, 250, and now it's just holding steady-ish. But it's still ping-ponging, but it's doing it at a higher speed, so we'll take that over nothing. There it is, just locked back in at 205. Very weird. But I'll take the 205. Let me start looking at our alternative options, because the next chargers are Signets, but now we're coming into Oklahoma territory-ish, which is where Francis Energy is. They have 200 kilowatt chargers that are super cable limited, but with the high voltage nature of the Lucid, we can actually take advantage of those. And so 200 kilowatts is pretty good for this thing. And we're getting the motor punch again. It's definitely motor because I can feel it in the back.
Somebody's taking like a rubber mallet to like the rear bumper is what it feels like.
It feels like someone just bumped into us.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That can't be good for the car.
Yeah, what do we need to get to the
Okay, two options from here. Okay, there is a Francis Energy that's 146 miles away. There's an Electrify America ABB that's 170 miles away, an extra 30. However, that station was completely offline this morning. Someone had to call, they got stuck, and they reset the station and said it started working again. On the app, it says only one station can output 350 kilowatts. The rest are limited to 50.
What do we get at the Francis?
They claim 200, but then someone also said only one of those two were working. So do we...
Well, and the Francis is closer?
Francis is closer.
And do we have, let's say that doesn't work at all, and we commit to that, and we don't have enough charge to get
There's no backup.
There's no backup. Ooh.
So we have to choose Francis with maybe 30 extra miles in the tank.
You're right. This is the safe option, is to be able to make it to the ABB.
Yep.
But hit Francis.
Hit Francis. I agree. If we can get a solid 200 kilowatts there, that would be great. And we'll know pretty quickly. We can adjust our driving style, because if the girls go there and say Francis works, then we can start ripping.
Yeah.
For that last little bit.
Yeah, totally.
Final preparations always should be done, of course, while the car is plugged in. No reason to unplug and then sit here. We've put in 52 kilowatt hours. We're hoping we don't have to deal with the Signet wobble, the Signet surge. Charging has, well, I can just stop charging by pushing on the emergency stop pretty hard, and we're out. Always freak out when I do that I'm gonna get a shock, because I don't trust these chargers. And then okay, the girls said it's because they downloaded the app right away. It doesn't let them charge within 24 hours of downloading the app at the charger, which is absolute ridiculous. They said customer service was of no help. They wouldn't activate the charger for them. All right, I'm gonna call someone who I believe has the Francis Energy app.
What a weird spot. Doesn't seem that safe, honestly.
All right, so there are the girls. Brendan Flash has the Francis app, so he's going to be able to do it. All right, let me get out. I'm going to call him. I need you to move up. Hold on 1 second. A little more, stop. Holy come on, charging port. Okay, initiating. Cooling is on, clicking. Thank you, Brendan. For some reason, if you set up an account, you have to wait 24 hours to charge. It's absolute crap. Well, Brandon, you saved the day. Thank you so much. Okay, thanks. See ya. I called Brendan and got him activated. That's the most bullshit thing I've ever heard. Yeah, that requires a file. Yeah, we are gonna make. I'm making a video about that. 100%.
Hell yeah, brother.
What about your lucid dream that you had? I'll have in a second.
I had a little dream. They realized how quickly I start dreaming.
No.
Pause talking for like a minute. Like, whoa, that was crazy.
The radar detector was going off, and I was dreaming about Boss, their Rottweiler puppy, drinking water, and every time his tongue would lick the water, it was the radar detector beep. It was like, why is this dog making robot noises?
That's called losing it.
Start to. Okay, but at least we're charging. All right, so Timon's pissed.
Well, yeah, this is dog shit. Next gas station, half a mile there. Phillips 66 or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Phillips 66 is there. Where are we? In an apartment complex? What is this?
A church.
A church?
It might be an apartment complex.
Oh, no, it's a church.
That's a church. That might be a housing. They kind of look the same.
Okay.
But
Well,
this takes up maybe 100 square feet, if that. You could just put it down there at the gas station.
They
I'm
could
sure
have
the
done a
gas
better
station
job.
would have been like, yeah, sure, whatever. As long as
Yeah.
you just give us some cash for the electricity. Yeah, have fun.
Bye, guys. Thanks for trying all that.
All you have is 2 lights. And this one's directly in your face.
Yeah, this is not even comfortable to sit in the car.
And I guess you need to have an account for 24 hours.
All right, the girls are leaving in the Polestar. We are charging here. We're going to charge enough to get to, I believe, the next fully functioning ABB Electrify America. I mean, this worked out great for us. Brandon had that thing activated in 2 seconds.
Yeah, thank God.
And welcome to Miami, Oklahoma, where they build Newell coaches. Oh, look at Alyssa sending it in the Polestar. On the way to go test the next charger for us. Honestly, good thing we had her.
Yeah.
We would have been stuck here on the phone.
For sure. Yeah, that 10 minutes that, we spent screwing around, we were making progress.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, we had our solution sorted as we pulled in the parking lot. So, wow, good. Next time, for sure, always going to have a pace car.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So our theory is after 10 minutes, the station derates through the cable. So Brandon's getting the app loaded up. We're going to hit stop. He's going to initiate a new session and see if it goes back up to 200. You're good? Okay, so stop. In we go. Initiating. Cable cooling. Somehow actually it does have cable cooling, but the cable's hot. It's got a heater shooter cable on the BTC unit. I love it. Brandon's like, all the Francis stuff is junk. I totally agree. This was the worst charging experience from a consumer standpoint. This one doesn't.
Oh, 10 minutes.
Yeah, there we go. That was right. We're back up to 200 kilowatts. You got to restart a session every 10 minutes. How would a normal person know that? Yep, this is absolute BS. I'm only driving a Tesla after this, or a Polestar 1. We'll be good to go. Oh, I gotta hit stop charging. Boom. Charging stopped, 50%, 15 kilowatt hours. Again, we did 2 separate sessions. It took 6 minutes to go from, I don't know, less than 50 to 50, so that's pretty good. Into reverse, and off we go. Let's do this thing. Start.
Some issues. And long story short, I don't know if I need to go to the hospital or not. So my friend actually, who lives in Oklahoma City, is in her car right now. She's going to meet us at this next charging station and pick me up in like Hampton. And so she's no longer going to be on the side, so nobody needs to drive with me.
Okay, so we'll put time in with you in the Polestar. And Michaela, do you need do you want us to get an ambulance to you, or have Alyssa just drive you to the hospital directly?
No, her friend is coming and meeting us at this next charger, and it's just going to take care of her from there.
Okay, what's going on?
She is currently, I just don't really want to say it over video, but having some medical issues that might warrant her going to the hospital, so.
Oh, shit, okay. Well, we can cancel this whole thing if we need to go with you.
No, we have it under control. This is one of my really good friends.
Okay.
It just happened,
But if you prefer to have Alyssa with you, you guys can go.
No, okay, I would put away for example. She's one of my really good friends. They used to live together, so the situation is all under control. We can continue this. Somebody just needs to drive with me.
Okay, well, Simon's in the Polestar with you. Drew and I are taking the Lucid.
Alrighty, we'll see you at the next charger.
See you in an hour.
Okay, bye.
Swap with Timon right now and take a nap.
Here, Drew. Here's Canberra.
Hi, Timon.
What up?
Why are you driving?
Kyle's taking a nap. Good.
Yep, for it.
See.
And welcome to our first ABB stop of the trip. How's it going, Timon?
It's good. It was a smooth drive. We used every percent of the battery basically, because at the lower end of 3% you can't do highway speeds, and we pulled in at the lower end of the 3%.
Perfect. So the timing, so the calculation, we used charged just enough on the last one.
Yeah, there was some cop notifications, so we also slowed down a bit for that, and a little bit of traffic.
And we got a pretty high speed number that we need to target to break the record, which is doable, but we're really going to have to go to work. These charging stops need to be quick, and they look like they will be, because we're getting how fast right now?
283 to
That's what we need. Very good. All right, well, I think Michaela's friend is on their way to get her, and sounds like she's feeling okay, but gonna go get checked out, and not sure totally what's going on, but that's not a good situation, and but I think she'll be all right. Sounds like 280 kilowatts. That's what we like to see, and so this thing's just sending it right now here at the Walmart in Oklahoma. I just took the last hour-long nap chance that I had, and it felt great. Again, every time I close my eyes, feels like I'm out for 3 weeks. So it's the longest cannonball I've ever experienced. But we're gonna put Timon with Alyssa and the Polestar. They're gonna do some searching ahead. Drew and I will take the Lucid, and we're going flat out.
Oh, we didn't.
Holy smokes, Lucid did not precondition.
Got to, yeah.
And it's the best charging session we've ever had. No more preconditioning, because this thing is ripping right now. This is the best charging session we've had. 8 minutes, 34 kilowatt hours, 35 kilowatt hours. It's windy as crap. We have a mega side wind through here. But as we get through Texas and into Arizona, it should be. All right, so we're doing a little bit of a driver shakeup. Alyssa's going to join the Lucid crew. You should take a nap in the Lucid. And Timon's taking the Polestar just for the next leg, 145 miles. All right, enjoy this thing.
I will.
All right, cool. And then Michaela's friend's on her way. Timon's taking this, and we're gonna get going as soon as Michaela's friend arrives. We're gonna hit the road. Charging randomly stopped, and the station just went back to that while I was running some calculations. We don't know why. It's been a great session, but it just randomly cut out. So let's plug it back in. Drew's on it right now. I'm just trying to figure out how much we need. Looks like we're going to burn about 60% state of charge on this 145 mile stretch. Especially with this wind, we're getting 2.2 miles per kilowatt hour. That's what we got on the last leg. It resets every time here. And I think it actually counts our charging session as the since last charge, because we notice the efficiency greatly improved throughout the drive. Like the first bit's always brutal. And so we think it's actually including the time that the car is sitting stationary charging, which is a bit of a bug and kind of annoying. So hard for us to do some calculations with that. But we're planning this next leg, 2.2 miles per kilowatt hour. We're going to use 59%. So we want to charge to at least, 64%, something like that, 63% with some extra buffer.
What's up, everybody? So I'm taking on this leg in the Polestar. I left about 5-10 minutes ago, and we are moving on the road. So far, so clear. Just want to make sure that we can finish this and do it on time. So we decided to leave Alyssa and Michaela with the Lucid, and then I'll meet up with Alyssa and them at the next charger, make sure everything works properly. But other than that, this thing is a lot smaller than the Lucid, and the windshield's a lot dirtier than the Lucid as well. It's the first thing I noticed when I got in here. But I'll check in with you guys if there's something eventful that happens or anything else. Other than that, I will catch you guys at the charger.
All right, so now it's Alyssa, you're officially part of the Cannonball team. Even though you were going to set by yourself the plug-in hybrid record, which is not really a thing, but we're going to make it a thing. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I mean, we're setting the record on a Lucid Cannonball run, actually.
That's pretty stupid.
I know, it's pretty dumb. You can make up any Cannonball record you want, but we're going for the overall big EV record here.
Oklahoma City.
So,
Vehicle on shoulder ahead.
West left. We animal.
Oh, that's a fox. Fox here.
Ring ding 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 ding. You don't know that, Drew?
Obviously not.
How do you not know what does the fox say? Well, I guess no one knows what the fox says, actually. So Drew's in right with everyone else.
We pulled in at the exact same time. It is super windy, and I have to pee super badly. But see how it went for them. 280. Yeah, very good, very nice.
So another successful EA charge here with one of the ABBs, and 75 miles to go for this next leg, so that is probably more than enough. And this dude is out.
Well, I just woke up leaving a charging stop, just getting prepared to take over here in a little bit and relieve Drew of doing the nighttime driving duties, and noticed that he was plugged in for a very short period of time. So we are ready to hop and head to the next one, 75 miles. That's what we're looking for. Just a few minutes at a charger, in and out. I guess Alyssa's back for timing then?
Yep.
Are they ahead of us?
Yep.
Great. For this leg, the Polestar is that car up ahead of us.
Hey, what mile mark are you at?
We are right behind you.
Here you go. Bye-bye.
See you, Polestar. We are nearing our charging stop. What a great stint. We are currently at 2% state of charge, and the Lucid's traveling along great. We sort of based this plan of these 3 to 5% arrivals, something like that, off of my dad saying it couldn't really maintain highway pace below 3%, but we're proving the car can do it. I think maybe because we didn't slow down and then try and accelerate quickly back up to highway speeds. It's able to sit at 83 miles an hour, no problem. Here we go, 1% pulling off the highway. Perfectly planned, Drew. Here's the Loves. We love Loves. Windshield's looking dirty. Usually they'll have a windshield washing thing. There we go. We're going to plug into the one to the right of the Chatamo station is the plan. And
turn right.
This is what we're talking about. Or to the left of the Chatamo station. Yep.
You've arrived at
right. Yep. Boom. Okay, I'll get us in. You hit the shindig. Rear door, let me out. Thank you. Ow. Here we go. Port's open. All right, 1%. God, these stupid freaking cables. Get in. Payment authorized, initiating charging. Contactors are clicking. Let's take a look. How are we doing? We are in Eric, Oklahoma, 1% state of charge and ramping. That's what we like to see. No signet surge issues. Will the second cabinet spin up? Will we get above 175? Easy. This is what we want. I'm going to shut climate control off for the... Oh, wait, it already was off. Battery preconditioning was on. We're up to 307. This is what the Lucid's built for, baby. We're already at 3%. Holy smokes. 318 kilowatts. 320. This is how we get a freaking cannonball. I don't even know if I have enough time to plan the next stop. 330. ABB and this car are a match made in heaven. I love the Loves fuel stops. We've had a massive side wind, but that has since, or it will after this run, I think, start to back down a little bit. Car looks like it's charging really well. I was just monitoring from the app. The plan for this run, let me walk you through what the plan is. The plan for this run is full sedation, triple digits minimum. We are here to cover distance and really make up some time. The Signet charging issues totally screwed us. The car is capable of smashing the record. We're still doing 230 kilowatts at 24%. This car can freaking rip when it gets it right, but it requires the infrastructure to get it right. We're, of course, now down a person. It sounds like Michaela has a bladder infection, and I hope she's okay. And it sounds like she is good, and she'll just fly home and nothing to worry about. So she went to the doctor, and that's all good. But she won't be rejoining. Drew, maybe you can even get some sleep in on this, a little quick nap.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, so get some sleep. You've been just rocking it leg after leg. It's been insane. I mean, clawing back the time. The only question is, it seems the ABBs are awesome.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working, but we also have some signets tomorrow. So we need to really push as hard as we can.
Yeah.
But it's going to be close. I mean, it's not impossible.
Yeah, no, we still have hope.
Yeah, we still have hope that we can get... I don't think a 39 is in the cards.
Yeah, not without, like, really taking a crazy pill and
being stupid. Yeah. But if we can just break the record and say, the Lucid can do it. That's all I want to show.
Yep.
But Electrify America sucks ass. All right, we are good to go. We have charged up to 55%, 19-minute charging stop. We cannot do any longer than that. 67 kilowatt hours in 19 minutes. Pretty dang good. So charging stopped, ready to unplug. And Drew, unplug. There we go. Car on, into reverse. Here he comes. Seatbelts fastened. And we go. Alrighty, into drive. Binoculars are gonna fall. And that guy's literally washing his bumper with the windshield washer thing. I can't wait to send that to Colton. Alright, and we got KA off the bat. The Polestar's already alerting us of cops. CarPlay just crashed for some reason, and I'm driving down the middle of the road. We have to go east-west. Let's do this thing. You join us in good old Texas, and we're just getting a little blip of that friendly Texas KA band welcome radar. So we're just sneaking on by. The Polestar found 2 officers sitting in the median checking speed. They should also be on Waze here in just about 3 miles. I'd be surprised if we were picking up that far away. Welcome to Amarillo. Been here a bunch just recently as well. And just did this stretch recently, so we're gonna go left here. Charger should just be up over this way. Let's go to it. We are in Amarillo. I was preconditioning for this particular one. Not super late preconditioning. I preconditioned only about 10 minutes ago, something like that. Let's shut climate off. And that seems to help with the thermals for cooling the battery. What? What? Go back to bed. It was a pretty good run. Nice wide open stretch and just maintained speed pretty well. We're at 8%, so let's hope for a big charging session and we're off to the next one. Tucumcari after this one. I have to say, having the Polestar as an advantage for this has been absolutely epic. You know, we didn't tell Electrify America or Lucid or anyone we were doing this because a lot of people gave us crap for it when we did the Taycan run. They're like, hey, the only reason you did that is because you told EA. But actually, they held us up more than they helped us out. Why is this not charging? It just says stuck on connecting to vehicle. All right, maybe we need to figure this out. But either way, the Polestar just charged here and it worked. So this is the one we need to use. Sometimes the ABB handshake takes a little bit longer than the signets we're finding. It says vehicle timeout. Okay, let's try. And there we go. I don't think the connector was fully seated. So we just lifted up on it a little bit, got the latch to connect, and we are good to go. Man, that took a little bit of time. Let's take a look at our charging speeds. Yeah, baby. See, once you get past 175 kilowatts, you know it's using both panels. 334. Pulls up the pack voltage and then sits right. Wow. That's awesome. We'll take that charging speed. Holy smokes. That rocks. Charging session error. What the heck? Okay, not good. What does it say? It says stop reason, charger error, current difference. Okay, that's not good. Let's re-plug in. So I don't know, maybe we try a different cable. This is the only working 350 kilowatt charger here. I have to keep pressure on this so it doesn't go. We got 3 kilowatt hours in 0 minutes. I mean, we were humming along, but maybe it freaked the charger out. Current difference, I don't know, between the car and the charger. Maybe they weren't agreeing. Come on, screen, let's go. Exit, thank you. All right, let's go back in. If we have another issue, then I'm going to switch cables, but we have no option. The other 350 kilowatts limited to 50 kilowatts, and then the 150s are 150s. We need the big juice, but this handshake time is ridiculous. And now we are back to charging. Seems to kind of be all over the place. 200, is this like the ABB pulsing? The ABB surge? I'll take this surge over the Signet surge. All right, I calculated based off of our efficiency, we need 41% state of charge worth of battery usage to make this next stretch to Tucumcari. I think I should have preconditioned a bit earlier. I didn't realize how cold it was outside, and we didn't get the perfect charging session, honestly. I had energy to burn. I should have been preconditioning. That is on me. We would have gotten a better session. I think the pack was slightly too cold. Welcome to Tucumcari. That was actually a brutal stretch. Blasted out of Texas, full send. It was great. As soon as we hit New Mexico, we had a cop following us the whole time. So while I planned to get here at like 1 or 2%, we actually arrived at 6. But I preconditioned the battery pack all the way. So, man, I love these ABBs really spinning up both cabinets. That's great to see. I don't know what's going on here, though. A little bit of derate? What? No, we need more than that. Should we swap to the other one, Drew? Or just let it, oh, I guess it's climbing up. Could you turn climate control off? The Polestar was here when we got here. They were just they filled up with fuel. They charged up the battery until we arrived, and then they're on the way. So, yep, Drew's going to take on the next leg. I'm going to probably get a little bit of a nap in, but we're getting pretty good speeds, although quite variable, surprisingly. For some reason, I don't think we're getting max speeds, only 230 kilowatts. It should be doing more than this, and the battery's preconditioned. So I'm going to switch over to this charger over here, and I just got to move the car really quick. So let's see how quickly we can do the swap. Okay, and yeah, I don't think the port's working actually. It's just open. But that makes it easier. Bad for aero, but easy for plugging.
Yeah, that door's had several issues along the way.
Yeah, that door is a bad design. Okay, we're having such good luck with these ABB chargers, actually. Weird charging, I think it's the same thing as before. I don't know what's going on with that. Same behavior. Probably the car if that's the case. Either way, we are, it's only 50 something miles to the next charger. So, and it's right off the highway like this, and no one's here. So I think we're gonna juice up just enough to make it there, blast, and then charge up there again. I think that's the fastest way to do it. Even though it's only 50 miles, our charging stops can be like 5 minutes. So I hope Drew's ready to rock and roll here pretty soon. Alrighty, well, we're gonna send it on this stretch. Let's see if we can start making up some time. All right, we are more than ready to go, but I don't know where Drew is. He's inside using the restroom, but I think he left his phone in the car. I didn't tell him that we only needed like 3 minutes here. He just ran away. So we gotta go, Drew, come on. And into drive we go. I did see a cop go by, but they went the other direction on the highway. So that's good.
That's good.
And this is where we're gonna make up some time. We have 31% to do something like 55 or 60 miles. So that's perfect. And it's another Love's literally right off the highway, another 350 kilowatts. So I'm actually going to start preconditioning for that charging stop now. Another quick hop, skipping a jump over to a Love's right off the highway. Love those locations at the Love's, but that stretch was filled with cops, nasty hiding places. And yep, hopefully we can keep the speed going. Right now we're on track for the record, which is great. And we are here. And if he plugs it in, that means the port's open, which it is. Yeah, so we gotta close that port manually now. So in the Lucid app, it said we were still charging on another charger.
3.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
And climbing. So I just authenticated this charger with my personal account before plugging in, which bypasses plug and charge. So then we're able to charge. Because when you load up the Lucid app, it thinks it's doing 170. And that's probably what's happening is sometimes when you roll up to chargers and it thinks they're still charging. It still probably thinks like you pull up to our screen and it says charging from our last stop. Dang, this thing is looking dirty. I think I'm going to clean the windshield on it. Hey, Alyssa, you have the keys to this in here? No? How you feeling?
Maybe.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm going to take a nap this leg. You going to do the same?
It was a nap.
Oh, nice. Well, can't thank you enough for the help. How's the car doing?
It's fine.
Might be the only mechanic service he knows how to do.
Okay, fingers crossed the brutal stretch is done. We're going to Albuquerque because it's 200 miles to Grants, and we're going to top up just enough to make it to Grants from Albuquerque, but we won't unplug here until we're below 175 kilowatts.
So we should head to Albuquerque now.
You should head to Albuquerque now.
All right.
All right, see you over there.
See ya.
There's no 350 kilowatt chargers in Albuquerque. So basically, we're just going to charge enough to get there. We're already down to 175, and then we're going to just juice up enough to get to Grants once we're there. So a little bit of a range play here. Maybe not triple digits, but just high doubles. 47%, that's enough to make it to Albuquerque. 15 minutes. Come on, unplug. Ah! All right, what's going on with you, charging port? There we go. Closing. We need the arrow. Looks like it's still working, but it hasn't been. Maybe it just got jammed. Gonna rip that thing off though, if it has any more problems. Okay, onwards. Charge port's closed.
Nice.
And the Lucid back-end app functionality is down. My dad can't access the car, I can't access the car, and plug and charge is not working. Yep, so manual activation only. That is a satisfying on-ramp.
Continue straight for 1 hour and 36 minutes to exit 160 Carlisle Boulevard.
We are now pulling into Albuquerque. What we'll do is you'll go to bed. I'll take over for the foreseeable future. And we're not going to get fast charging. We're going to charge just enough to get over to, I think Grant is the next charger, but we have a big headwind front on its way in. Actually, we've been in a no wind situation around here, which is great. We're sort of protected, but massive headwinds coming our way. And so the sooner we can get out of here, the better, because the headwinds will be building through.
Yeah, they're coming out of Spectaves Lucid, Kyle and Drew.
Let's get it charging. Hey there, Andrea.
What's up, Kyle? Some refreshments waiting for them. The infamous or famous strawberry Aussie of course.
No 350 kilowatt chargers are working here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yep, so we have only 150. I'm going to check the 350s and just make sure that that's the... Here's the ones we really need. The 350 kilowatts unavailable. That one is derated to 50 kilowatts according to the screen. So they have 10 stalls here. It's a pretty big installation. But our friend Andreas drove all the way down from Colorado to bring us coffees here in Albuquerque. That's like a 6 or 7 hour drive. I think he drove through the night just so he could bring us coffee. Polestar's looking good. And Andreas, are you insane?
I'm insane.
Yes, you are insane.
Yeah, it's a 9 hour coffee run for you guys.
9 hour coffee run.
Sandwiches, strawberry Aussie.
Oh,
not too early, I don't know.
Thank you so much. You know the drill. There's Simon.
Against the wall.
And here we are at 175 kilowatts or so, 173, maxing out the 150's capabilities. Again, charging just enough to make it to the next charger. So, yep, we'll calculate all that out. But I figured since we're going to have a little bit of breakfast here and chill and whatnot, let's at least get this plugged in. I think we missed the DC cap for it. So, in we go. Boom. No plug and charge on Polestar. So Andreas, this is so cool of you to do this. Drove all the way from Canada. Well, thank you so much. This is going to go a long way. It really will help us.
Yeah.
We needed a little bit of end of drive boost, if you will. All right, they're heading out in the Polestar just ahead of us. Andreas, thank you again for the breakfast and the Starbucks.
All the best for the final stretch.
Very kind. And yeah, the final stretch, we're getting close to the end.
Yeah.
I feel like we just left.
Less than 1,000 miles now. Yep. Final push.
All right, I think we need maybe 3% more and then we can hit the road. I'll do some calculations. We wanted Andreas to come with us, but he can't get out of meetings. See you, dude. Thanks again.
Crew unplugging the Lucid. Gonna hit the road again. Yeah. And they are on the way to California in the Autospec Dave Lucid.
It is beautiful here. Going through the gates. Gusty winds may exist. Thank you. Thank you for letting me in. Appreciate that, bruh. All right, you're supposed to be our spotter. Don't stop at this charger. Just keep going slowly. We're not going to show you guys the speed, but we're doing pretty good out here, even considering the annual police car drivers convention must be in Albuquerque, because we passed about 3,000 cops. I mean, so many. But that's okay. They were pulling other people over. We made it through. At least so far, we haven't seen one in a little while. We're 0.8 miles away from our exit. We're going to pre-activate the station, pulling into the parking lot, get this thing juicing. We are pulling in. Station's pre-authorized. Let's go. It's got the wrapped black cable situation. I don't know why they do this on some. They go like this color on some, and then some aren't. So activating a 350. I just kind of ripped it in here, so it's not a great parking spot, but it's still early in Grants, New Mexico. So come on, let's go, big boy. We want big speeds, ABB. We are so close to making it. We need 10-minute charging stops and a very high average speed. Man, if Signets just worked, we'd be there by now. Okay, well, Gallup's only 60 miles away, but we have 40 to 50 mile an hour side winds. They were headwinds. They've turned to side winds, which is great. We're still charging up okay, not at peak, I would say, but I'll take this over nothing. Yeah, between the Signet chargers and that charge port door, that's what's costing us time. This charging session just randomly stopped. Cable cooling's still running. We have no idea why. It didn't show a fault. It even says we got 0 kilowatt hours. I think it just totally is confused. So we've moved over to the other 350, which is working here. We've had this happen once before so far this trip. ABBs have a longer handshake time than the Signets, no question. We are connecting to vehicle. Yeah, plug and charge worked before, right? Oh, maybe it didn't. Yep, we're good. Okay, so maybe things are getting unbricked. And initiating charging. Wow, you really got to babysit this thing when you are at a charger. You can't leave it. It'll just stop. So we are tracking so close to the record right now. We really need to keep our charging stops to 10 minutes or so. And we are at 29% state of charge. We're going to charge to 32%, I think. And we can always go slower if we're not going to make it or something. And that's what we're going to do. So 32%, that's where we're going. Let's go. Charging, stop charging. Port out, car on. Charge port hopefully closing, I don't know, into reverse, and let's go. We're actually gonna go a little bit of a different way out of here. J-turn in the drive, and there you go. Doing the quick stretch to Gallup. Here's some elevation increase that we're gonna have to deal with, so looking forward to seeing how the Lucid handles this. This probably will be one of our least efficient drives of the trip, but it is warming up outside. We have climate control off. cool. Wow. And we have arrived. Thank you to Timon for plugging us in. 8%. We actually didn't burn nearly as much as I thought we were going to. Polestar is here, was reserving the spot in case a Bolt rolled up and wanted to steal the 350. So we blocked it with our plug-in hybrid. Drew is about to pop a bag of popcorn and taking a quick nap. Preparing to charge. Come on. Heard some thermals kick on. 200 kilowatts, 250, 280, 290. We'll take it. We are charging up and having an interesting session here. Drew is asleep here, but I'm actually thinking I'm going to stop preconditioning the car, at least as an experiment. I've been preconditioning for each charging stop, and we seem to just get this early taper. I'm not sure if the pack is hot spotting or what exactly is going on, because it's not saying it's limited by station. The station seems to be able to give it the juice. So I think on our stretch to Winslow, it's 120 miles and a bit. We're going to basically charge up to 50%, maybe 49 to 53%. I just have to look at the winds to see how bad they are. 120 miles and, you know, just kind of cruise pretty quickly. This is a longer charging stop than we'd like, but we're going to have to drive quick to make up for it. We really need fast charging. This isn't going to cut it, especially with a couple signets towards the end of the day. I don't know. We need faster charging than this. Yeah, really getting a very poor charging session here, kind of at the worst possible time. All right, we have like a 30-mile-an-hour headwind, but we lose about 1,000 to 1,400 feet of elevation, something like that. So I'm going to unplug at 52%, and we are going to go. You know what? I'm going to unplug at 51%. Let's go. Welcome to Arizona. We are a bit behind schedule after that charging session, so we have to make it up. Hammer down. We are now in Winslow, Arizona, exiting, and yet another convention of police just everywhere. I mean, every 5 miles there's a cop. Just probably the most insane thing I've ever even seen or heard of. Okay, and which one?
The two, either middle.
Did you check the EA app to see which one was working? The car came up and said authenticating via app or charging station, so that actually did work, and it was much faster to initiate a charge. 5% arrival, no preconditioning. Let's see how this goes. Hoping for some big speeds. AC compressors on, spinning up. So it's possible the pack was just slightly warm and we should precondition. I don't know.
Yeah, I think probably at least a few minutes ahead of time.
Yeah, a few minutes ahead, but my experiment was basically we kept preconditioning and getting shit charging.
Right.
And I think we should keep preconditioning.
Yeah.
Well, charging ramped back up and now we're doing pretty dang good. The AC compressor's been running flat out for the last, we've been plugged in 5 minutes. So maybe it cooled itself down to where it can accept more power. I sure hope that's the case, so all is good. Wait. So, let me show you this on the map. We're sitting here in Winslow charging, feeling a bit of defeat, I would say. It's not over yet, but things are not looking good. We have to gain huge elevation, relying on Signet branded chargers. We could stop in Flagstaff, but we still need to stop at the one after that in Williams. I forget exactly what town in Arizona, because there's a big stretch with big headwinds. So we're like, let's just charge up the extra 40 miles. We're still getting good charging speeds here. We're going to leave at 44% and go to the charger just after Flagstaff. From there, we'll be at a Signet charger dealing with the Signet wobble. Now, has Electrify America deployed a fix in time? I don't know. Everyone says they're working on a fix. They won't talk to us, of course. They don't know we're doing this run, but they know that it's a problem. So you would think they would try and deploy a fix as soon as possible. If they did, and the charger performs great, we might have it. If they didn't, and we get wobble, I think we're out. I didn't know which way to go around him. He's got the world's longest trailer. Okay, we are in Flagstaff. We're past Flagstaff. We are in Williams. This is the road you take to get to the Grand Canyon, I think. There's a Signet station here. We've run the numbers. We need to average 80 miles an hour with charging to make it happen. Excuse me. Just ate a sausage.
I thought you were getting choked up.
No, we're doing this. We're not giving up. We're going to set a time. There is a very small set of circumstances that could come together if Electrify America gave two shits, and I will praise them forever if they can get this done. That would fix the Signet chargers, and we could maybe pull this thing off. Maybe if this Jeep would get out of our way, we could pull it off even quicker. So basically, if the Signet chargers can work, I think we can average 80 miles an hour with charging. But we would absolutely send it balls to the walls into LA, which we can do because we lose elevation. And the wind is, we're kind of at the tail end of it now. So like everything's kind of for us. It's just up to the charging. And I think it's very unlikely to think that the charging will be fixed, but it's possible, which is why we're still pushing. So.
Not giving up yet.
There's the chargers. There's the Polestar.
Little airborne? Oh, what was that?
the ABS building pressure. In the park. Okay, let's get charging. I hit mark. I didn't even recognize it. Nope. And in. Great. I'm guessing this is a 350 kilowatt, right? Yes. Connecting to vehicle. Will we have the Signet Surge? Or have they fixed it? And plug and charge didn't work. Okay, great. Let me activate. What the heck? Okay, station has been activated. Plug and charge for Lucid didn't work, so I used my account to activate. That's off to an interesting start because we haven't had one plug and charge issue on Signet. So it might indicate that they actually changed something. That would be our hope. And if we can get a ripping charging session here, there's still hope. The Polestar is ready to rip. How do you like driving that thing, Timon?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? It's a very U car. Okay, we're ramping. We're ramping. Timon, check this out. Oh, never mind. The Signet Surge is not fixed. Never mind. I think this is not going to happen. Shit. But we're still going to go for a time. We sent it in here as soon as we started going on the downhill. Started hauling ass. So let's keep it going. So now, of course, we know we're not going to break the current record, which was 42 hours, 17 minutes. But I think we still have a chance of beating our Taycan record, which would be our personal best for Drew, Timon, and myself. We'd like to see if that's still possible. Again, on that run, we had similar issues, Signet chargers, bricking cars, and we were limited for basically from New York up until Denver. We took the northern route. We were limited to 150 kilowatt chargers, so we never got good speeds. But here you can see 6 minutes, we've only added 10 kilowatt hours. We got to wait until the car hits 20%. Then from 20 to 30%, it rips pretty good. And then from 30 onwards, it wobbles around again. And we've never waited long enough to see if it stabilizes after that. But this is unfortunately what we're going to have to deal with all the way into Los Angeles. So we planned this so we would arrive. If we were going to break the record, we would arrive before rush hour. But we knew if we weren't going to break the record, then that's only going to push our time even farther back because we are going to be, again, hitting rush hour. The nice thing is most of the traffic should be leaving LA, but you guys know LA, there's traffic no matter the direction. So just a few more percent. This thing, we should get a nice solid, 20 to 30% boost, if you will. Battery's fully preconditioned. I preconditioned it the whole way just to give it enough time to cool off, get to where it wants to get. And yeah, bit of a bummer, but we're learning the Lucid. Once the Signet issue is fixed, who knows? Maybe we'll run it again. Maybe we'll run it against the Taycan. Maybe we'll run a Model S instead and just have a much better experience with charging on the Tesla Supercharger network, which is bar none. So, yep. The best. The Tesla supercharger experience is just look at this right here, and then compare that to what you get at Tesla. I hate that the cars are tied to the infrastructure, because I've really grown to learn and love the Lucid. I mean, the seating position, I've gotten comfortable in the car. So many things I like about it. I love the massaging seats. I love the way that it drives. I think, you know, on the 18-inch wheels, it's not how I would do it, because there's no traction. I mean, you hit the brakes and it takes forever. You turn the corners and it's got no grip. It's all about range, but that's what we're doing. Our efficiency has been pretty incredible considering how we've been driving this thing, which is pushing, pushing, pushing. And you might ask, like, what if we just did full charges and drove normally? Well, that takes even longer. We've tested it many times. You'll notice Teslas don't say that because they don't report. There we go. I told you, 20%. It took 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go halfway into 19%. So it's just before 21%. And then we get 200 kilowatts, which still isn't as much as the car wants. But it's better than nothing. And then it'll start surging again around 30%. Okay, so we got as much good charge here as we can, and we're starting to surge, and we hope we can actually pull up to the next Signet charger with some energy in the tank. That's gonna be our strategy. We hope to only use about maybe 20 and a bit % over this 100 miles, just because we lose so much elevation and the wind is dying down. So let's unplug this thing, because once it surges again, it takes forever for it to get out of this surging profile. So we got as much clean juice as we can on Signet, and now we go to Needles, and hopefully we don't arrive dead. We arrive with some. And Alyssa and Timon are going to block one of the 350s over there for us. So we actually got a 20 to 40% surge, which is not the end of the world.
Yeah, that's all right.
So, still can't believe the ABS triggered about here for an event that happened there on the way in.
Right. Yeah, it was very delayed.
It was like, I'm asleep. Oh, you're skidding?
Oh yeah, maybe I should have thought about that.
We are now exiting in Kingman. So Drew, how'd the drive go on your side?
Oh, really nice.
Lost a lot of elevation.
Yep. Yeah, what, 3,500 feet or something?
I forget. Yep, over three. I think 3,100. And you got 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour at speed, which is very good. We estimated 3, which is why we're arriving with 9% extra. But that was actually good, because we want to be closer to that 20% mark.
Exactly.
For the Signet Surge. We are pulling in now, and there is a line, and we're not totally sure what to do. So Timon's going to have to figure this out, because... oh, what the heck?
Yeah, Polestar is pulling like 86.
That's crazy.
The dude in the Mustang, you could ask to switch with that.
Well, it's a good thing we're not going for a record time, because we'd be stuck in line waiting. And I had this idea that maybe we should wait until the evening time on the next, or if any future runs happen, to come through, because this is California EV road tripping. So Timon, you guys did your best, and you did a great job for holding that. Thank you. And now we're next in line. Appreciate that. And hopefully the Polestar 2 is done here quick, so we can all get charging. And we're good to go into the 150 kilowatt Signet. Literally everyone is just full charging here. This Mach-E's at 90%, Polestar's at 90%, Nero's doing a deep charge. And it just shows if we ever do this again, we're coming into California in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Because this is crazy. Not nearly enough charging infrastructure to support electric cars in California. I've been saying this for some time. And
in Arizona, though?
Yeah, but we're right on the border. Thank you, Timon.
You're welcome.
The viewers were already commented ahead of you. But yes, we're getting there.
Deep feel of me putting on the other end.
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to see in their spare time.
Yep.
Never mind. Signet Surge is back, baby. How lovely. We're still going full speed. This is as fast as we can go. We just had to wait in line to charge, even though we had someone to block a station. Once the line builds up, you're still at the back when you roll up in a new car, unfortunately. So we're trying our best, but this is the state of infrastructure, and it's just a random Wednesday. Imagine this on a weekend. It's going to be crazy. Okay, port. There we go. So this way, when we come out of the Signet Surge, we'll get the 200 kilowatts or 220, 230 instead of what the 150 kilowatt unit can do. We're still in the, you know, on the roll, trying to get there as soon as possible. But nice little Jimmy John's when the charging is slow. Thank you guys. Thank you, Timon.
Yeah. Thank you, Alicia. Not me.
Well, we're heading out in the Polestar 1, and we'll see them at the next charging stop. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but we'll let them know as soon as we calculate it out. We are getting more surge over here, but as soon as we hit 20, and again, high 20% state of charge, we should get a pretty good charging session. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Well, unfortunately, we hit our 20% state of charge to get out of that weird voltage limitation, and we are still surging all over the place. So very odd behavior here. We're not exactly sure what's going on. All I can say is this charge might, good thing we weren't going for the record, because this would have ruined it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, now we just cruise into LA. I mean, we'll still go fast, but yeah. Crazy. Of course, we can't switch because Electrify America doesn't charge idle fees right now. So this Polestar is just sitting here, no penalty, blocking the other 350 kilowatt. Totally ruining everyone's experience here. Yeah.
Nowhere to be found.
Yep, owner's just gone. Typical, actually, this is really ID4 lifestyle, but becoming Polestar recently. Well, it's a good thing we weren't going to make the run, or at least we had the realization earlier, because no matter what, we wouldn't have made it. This charger is full. The one down the line, it's about 30 miles away, and Needles is full with a line and derated chargers. Then you have people like this guy plugging into the charger at 80%. The Polestar 2 left their car fully charged for a long time, came back and was like, oh yeah, we didn't know, I don't know. Then you have brand new EV drivers like these folks who just rented this car from Hertz, who have no idea what they're doing, and we helped them. They couldn't even figure out how to pay for charging because the credit card reader wouldn't work, so I just paid for their charging on my app. And you know, they offered to pay me back, but I was just like, no, don't worry about it. But at the end of the day, like, this is EV road tripping, especially in the West Coast, with pretty much no infrastructure, not nearly enough. This is the only fast charger in all of this town here in Arizona, in Kingman. And this is a travel hub. And there's 4 DC fast chargers. One of them, the one the Rivian's plugging into, only one of those cables works and is limited to 50 kilowatts. It would take hours to charge that truck. So we'll let them take our spot when we're done. And the Signet Surge, it just continues. Really not much we can do about it. We're just gonna sit here and eat. Well, we actually were just playing around with the Lucid onboard navigation for the first time, and it inspired us to say, hey, the Barstow location has plenty of new chargers. They're all the Gen 3 units. We hadn't really used many of those this trip, and it says about a 12% arrival. So it said leave now and go there. And I know Drew can get that down from 12% to less, depending on traffic.
Should be able to.
So Drew's going to take us from here to Barstow, and then we'll charge up just enough to make it to Portofino.
Yep.
And that should be faster than sitting here at 96 kilowatts. The Yo-Yo did stop, but it didn't ever go that fast because we've been high state of charge. This is the highest we've had it almost the whole trip.
Yep.
All right, a pretty convoluted charger to get out of, at least. Yeah. And 206 miles to Barstow. We have 66%. So downhill, I think actually we have a bit of a climb, and then it's, I got to look at the elevation maps because this is not as planned. But just looking at all the chargers full along the stretch, it was really our best option. And Barstow seems to be open at the moment. There's like 4 stations available out of 8 or 6. So that's the move. Have a little bit of buffer. Let's rock and roll. We are now coming up to the California Agricultural stop, and we'll be going through. And that's that. It's pretty weird. You go through controlled access to get through a state, but it's the way it is. Well, we just completed, honestly, the first long stretch of the trip. We're at 3% state of charge, which is perfect for this car. At the bottom of 3%, it goes into turtle mode. And we're going to some Gen 3 chargers. We're going to zap up, and then we're going to sit in traffic for the next few hours. We're getting to this charger when we wanted to get to the hotel. So we are, you know, 130 miles behind schedule.
Right.
Bummer. 4203. Oh, what's going on with the Mach-E taking this spot? EQS SUV, Bolt, e-tron, and Mach-E all arrived. So they're going to unplug the Polestar. I guess we're going to take that. That Audi looks. So that's a factory color that I think they put matte PPF on. And this guy is having issues connecting. Oh gosh, the typical connection things. All right, I'll get us plugged in.
All right.
Let's do it. And we are charging at 264 kilowatts. These are the BTC units, so no issues here, the full Send Nation. And charging at 260 kilowatts. Now, it should do a little bit more. We preconditioned on the way, but we need just enough to get into LA, which isn't actually that much. So 130 miles, I think, downhill, no wind anymore. Ready to rock and roll. The Polestar's actually charged up pretty high, so you guys could probably even make it electric in that thing. Timon only drives it in power mode.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we're pulling e-tron GT speeds here, and this thing just looks incredible next to the Lucid. I mean, that's a real good-looking car right there. So one of the downsides of putting in a shared configuration is, you know, it's a 350 kilowatt cabinet, basically shared across two cars, and I'm pretty sure we're sharing with the e-tron GT, so we're both going to see about 175 kilowatts each. We had our big peak, and then it's going to split the power between both cars. So non-dedicated 350 kilowatt chargers here, even though they're labeled 350 kilowatt. Is that misleading? Maybe so, because it's only under certain conditions will you see 350 kilowatts. So we are here at our last charging stop, and we're actually sharing with the e-tron, so not getting that much, but we only need a couple more percent. We're predicting about 40% state of charge. Should be good to get us to the Portofino and then to the nearest fast charger, which is not that far away, and then we can just let the car live a little bit, charge it to 80% and have it complete and give it a bit of a break. You know, my guess is I'm feeling like I'd like to run the Lucid again once the Signet surge problems are fixed. Here at BTC, we're having to split power on the new unit, so even that's not ideal. These are challenges of living with EVs in the modern world, and definitely learned our lesson about coming into California way too early. So let's just give it a couple more minutes here at this fast charger, and you guys should probably head out in the Polestar, I think.
Okay, yeah, we'll get closer to you rolling in.
Yeah, just we'll log the time, log your time, make sure to reset the timer. That's the phone in this car, because I think you're going to set the plug-in hybrid record.
That's not a record, and it shouldn't be.
I know it shouldn't be a record, and it's not a record, but you're still going to do it. So drive safe, have fun. Let us know if anything cop-wise major goes, because I'm going to do the typical 11/10 blast into LA.
Me too.
All right, have fun.
Thanks.
Don't damage the car. And great, let's rock and roll. Final leg. And we are at 39% state of charge, so let me get in, let me get Waze set, and give me like 2 minutes.
Okay.
It's time for the final unplug. 16-minute charging session, 46 kilowatt hours.
All right.
Let's hit charging, stop. That's officially the last session we've done right there. Port out, into reverse, get the seating position ready. Full Send Nation. Let's time to cut up some traffic. There we go. That is a gorgeous e-tron GT and such a cool guy. Into drive, full send. We outrun it. Nice. BMW's ripping. Got the Polestar. The Mach-E was trying to keep up, but he said no thanks.
Shit.
Just cruising into Los Angeles now, coming into the area, and we were doing some calculations. Obviously, we're not going to be able to take the overall record, which we're already past, but we still are trying to optimize and push and knife through traffic, because we're realizing we're right on our Taycan's time. Now, our Taycan Cannonball Run was done in the middle of winter. We had a ton of Signet issues, very similar issues actually to what we had with this car, where we were having crazy power delivery, bricking the car, having crazy problems. You can watch that video as well. But we are like running or tracking about 10 minutes behind that run. And I am going to try to make up some time here. Now, the thing is, we charged just enough to make it to the Redondo Beach spot, you know, the Portofino. So I don't have that much energy to work with here, but I'm kind of thinking we go like air conditioning off and just try and knife through traffic best we can. So that's kind of the plan. Let's see if we can beat the Taycan run. I'm going to certainly do my best to squeeze this big girl through traffic. I'm going to go, I want to really use sprint mode for the maneuvers because sprint mode's tied to the suspension and this thing is really wallowy if we have to make any moves. But I don't
Sprint
want the
mode,
power consumption.
But easy on the throttle.
Yeah, so like let's start hammering here a little bit. Now we're talking. Full LA mode, engaged.
Time's gonna be like, what just happened?
Yeah, let's get we got it. Drew, you are holding the device with our official timer on it.
Yep.
And in just a few seconds, what's about to happen?
Well, we're about to go officially slightly slower than we did in the Taycan Cannonball run a couple years ago.
And that was 44:25:59 that we did in the Taycan. And how crazy is that? Two separate cars, years apart, two separate routes.
Different routes. Yep.
Different weather conditions. I mean,
yep.
That's insane. And pretty much we're 2 miles away.
Yep.
And we tried, we hit traffic. If we didn't hit traffic, this would have been cool.
Yep.
So we are officially slower than the Taycan. But it's not really a good comparison of the cars.
No, it's not. I mean, this was I mean, you shouldn't even use the word optimized because it wasn't even close to that.
And nor was the Taycan, though.
No, nor was the Taycans. Yep. So yeah, the true apples to apples is with no charger issues. And then we can really compare the two cars, I guess.
Right. But I think our goal is always to choose the best car for the infrastructure at the time.
Yep.
And this can charge, I don't know, we got to do some more testing, but this definitely was more efficient, I believe, than Taycan.
Yep. Yep.
And just
efficient.
like bigger and was more comfortable. Oh, definitely better for 3 of us.
More reasonable for 3 people to be in for
yes.
Non-stop 2 days.
And like almost no glitches with the car the entire time.
Yeah. No, the car solid as could possibly be.
Yeah, totally agree. Props to Lucid for totally, I would say, getting things in order from the last time I drove the car.
Yeah.
Just massive improvements. The thing feels really good. I mean, the way that the battery systems are managed, we never had anything wonky with our state of charge. The only thing that was wonky was the infrastructure, which sucked with the Taycan and sucked even worse now.
Yep, right. Yeah, you'd think after a couple of years maybe it would improve, but it did not.
Did not. So the times will come down when the infrastructure improves, and I hear that the Signet Surge software is close. We'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of the video, but for now, let's try and set the best possible time that we can. So see you later, Honda. We're going. We'll do a launch control. Yes.
6%. Wow, nice.
I'm surprised. Launch mode activated. Sprint. How long will it hold it for?
That's your answer. Are we gonna have to push the car?
It sounded like something really broke there, didn't it? Come on, lights. We're always stuck here. Wow, the brake pedal got real springy and built up with pressure.
Come on.
What the heck?
Let's go.
There we go. There we go. Launch mode. Man, that freaking kicks, doesn't it?
Turn right onto Portofino Way.
Here we are, coming through. Yes.
In a quarter mile, the destination is on your right. Portofino Hotel and Marina.
Full brakes, and up we go. Stop the clock. 44:32:23. Let's let the Polestar get their time. We'll pull up. Oh, he just sent it up there.
The shit out of it. All right.
There we go. Got our times.
We made it.
Here we go. Well, that's the time.
That's the time.
There we go. What was the Polestar's time?
45 hours, 38 minutes, and 28 seconds.
I think it's technically a plug-in hybrid record, so props to you. Wish Michaela was here for you. Next time, I think we got to buy a Polestar one and just keep that as the out-of-spec Cannonball lead car.
Ah, okay.
So I would love. I think I want to buy that one.
That one?
I wonder if they'll sell it to us. They can get a different one to put in their museum. We've already trashed it.
I wouldn't say we trashed.
No, it just needs a new windshield.
Yeah.
And the Lucid. It'll be back at some point. Yeah, man, the car's good. I'm left more impressed with the Lucid than I thought I would be. There we go. Well, we're staying just across the street from the Portofino. We ended right there. They were actually sold out. So we're here at, I don't know, some hotel across the street. And we're going to get showered, get everything thought about. The Lucid's at 5%. I just want to let the battery sit for a little bit because that has just been cycled since my dad left South Florida, drove it to New York. We didn't even get 100% charge out of it before we left to go do this. Oh, no, that's not true. We did get 100% charge out of it before we left to do this, but when we left the Red Ball, we didn't. So basically, that car's been running nonstop for a week. And I just want the battery to figure out what's going on at the bottom. BMS stuff, really good though. Honestly, best I've ever seen of any EV. It's not all confused. The Polestar, yeah, we need to make sure that that's all good as well. But very good stuff here, and we're going to shower and get ready for dinner and have ourselves a good meal. And then we'll be back to you soon with final thoughts at the end of this video. So, Timon, why don't you share your quick thoughts after the run, how it all went, what you experienced, because you've done it before, of course, how you think it was different. What do you think?
I think it was about the same, just a little more comfortable, the Lucid, especially in the back seats. It was weird not rolling in with the two of you into the LA, but
yeah, you didn't get to join us in the car.
Start, which was fine. But excited to do it again.
Yes, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, everything else just was kind of just the same, just cruising through the country.
Took a different route than last time.
Yeah, which I think I like the northern route more.
I agree. What do you like more about the northern route?
It's faster.
Yeah, great. Well, glad you're able to join again. It's a good crew. And Drew, your impressions of the drive, the Lucid, the route, compared to last time. What do you think?
Yeah. I think the biggest difference as far as what we're always like worried about in the car during the run was the route difference. It's like I think we went through the highest concentration of police anywhere on the planet. It has to be close. So that's a big difference between the northern route and the southern route. And then the car was great. More comfortable. So yeah, that was those are the two major things. But I mean, I don't know if you want to get into the run itself and the charging situation, but that was obviously the big letdown that the car couldn't get the required energy it needed.
And that was actually the basis as to why we chose the southern route.
Exactly.
Because with the southern route, we got that ABB swing for like 800 to 1,000 miles, roughly.
And that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That worked well. Yeah.
So if we could just have that across the country.
We just need that across the whole country. Yeah.
Right. So northern route either needs to just trash those signets.
Right.
Which I know someone who has a Lexus GX and you can just pull them all out of the ground.
Works. Let's do it.
And then I think northern route's really the future of runs. And the combustion car guys do the same thing. Everyone's on the northern route.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like just a tiny bit shorter, but that's not the main thing. It's the openness of those roads. It's much less populated. It seems just more just straight,
Yeah.
There's a lot of semis on this route comparative to the northern route.
Lots of semis. Yeah.
Some nice semi drivers, but a lot of douches.
A lot of like hand holding, like 10-minute long passes.
A lot of like just nobody else around us. It's only us coming up, and then they're like, "Yeah, let's make the pass now." Just like 20 times at least when I was driving, and then just slow motion pass. It takes 5 minutes.
Right, those were pretty brutal.
That's worth a chunk of time right there.
Yep. So the route obviously plays a big role. How'd the car do? You mentioned it was more comfortable than the than the Taycan that we took. I totally agree.
Seating, just situation.
You had room to man spread.
Exactly.
You'd sleep in the back.
Much more spacious vehicle. You can actually do something that's like slightly okay for your body in the back when you want to take a nap.
Right. We had no headroom in the Taycan.
That was brutal. That was rough.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's good. And handling not as good as the Taycan. It's not as much of a sports car. So hustling that thing, it's like you feel like you're really moving a big girl around.
And I noticed like maybe on like sweepers the Lucid's okay-ish, especially if we had like a stickier tire, a wider tire.
Yeah.
But in like traffic, when you like have to make a quick pass, especially because we can't drive the Lucid in sprint mode because it wouldn't allow preconditioning. In sprint mode, you would like make a lane change, the whole car would like lean over.
Because that mode also puts the suspension in soft, and then you're just like, you really feel the weight.
It's like you're driving a truck down the road.
So if we could make some little improvements, it would be like, can we just press the suspension stiff button, and then put it also in the the eco mode and then the preconditioning mode and all that. That would be that'd be one thing.
Yep. Charging curve.
Yeah. Just bring it out. We
big peak speeds. We saw 347. I think was the highest.
Yeah.
Which is really freaking awesome.
Yeah. So that part's great. Carry it further into the pack and do that every time.
Right, exactly. And a lot of that's down to chargers. It's like, I wonder if Lucid could add a cannonball mode, which is like, this battery needs to last 3,000 more miles.
Exactly. Right. Yep.
And Alyssa, you obviously were in the Polestar most of the time. What was it like leading us through? You kind of just, you mentioned we felt like we were going really slow, and I agree. When we had slow charging, we could not go that fast. What was your impression of the whole run?
When we first started, we were an hour ahead, and then accidentally got rerouted 22 miles in the wrong direction. But I think that was actually a good thing, because I would have been so far ahead of you guys and just waiting for about an hour to be able to get that 15-minute gap. But overall, it was a very, very comfortable car. It was fun to go a little fast at some points, and I like the lane assist and all that stuff. I was pleasantly surprised with how much my adrenaline carried me through this ride, because I was terrified that I was just going to fall asleep. But I didn't have any issues with that, and I actually drove most of the time because, I don't know if you guys know, my sister ended up getting sick on the ride. So
I know.
So I ended up having to drive a good portion of it until she finally, when she left. But I didn't have any issues. my charging curve was great.
That's right. 2 minutes and out.
Yeah.
What was the fuel tank range like on that car?
I think roughly around 240.
Okay.
No?
It's like 350.
Just fuel, it was 240.
No, 350.
Yeah, I even saw that thing well over 300 miles when I picked it up.
At 90, and you go 3 charging stops almost. But you just stop at the second one where you guys stop the second charging stop, and then we refuel and go.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Yeah. So what was your impression of the Polestar, Timon?
Needs massaging seats, and the doors need to open the other way, but other than that, it was great.
He wants Rolls Royce doors.
Yeah, it would fit the car so well.
But it's such a unique piece.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. And so would you run a lead car again, Alyssa?
Yeah, I think I would. Not tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Darn.
Well, because we're shipping the cars back and trying it again.
No, I would definitely. It was a lot of fun. I was, like I said, pleasantly surprised. I didn't set any expectations for myself, but I did expect you guys to go a lot faster, but that was all charger dependent, because you were like, oh, you're going to have to go 100 miles an hour, and I was like, okay, I'm ready, because I like to drive fast. So, but then you're like, oh no, you got to bump it to 75. I was like, well, this is boring.
Yeah. Yep. So that actually worked out really well, I thought. So there you guys have it. That's our cannonball run in the Lucid.
Part 2, 3, 4.
No, what's a single part?
One part.
Yep, part 1. End of story.
End of story.